missed field goal, blocked field goal. Those are the types of things that really need to be cleaned up today. And then the wide receivers on the outside. They've got to start getting some more separation for Tyler Van Dyke to get them the ball downfield.
Andres Borregales, who made all 3 field goals, made 3 out of 5 last weekend, responsible for all 9 points in that A&M game, kicking off. Jalen Lane calls for the fair catch, and we'll get an opportunity to see this Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders offense first and foremost.
Yeah, and we look at this Middle Tennessee it starts with Chase Cunningham, their quarterback. He's a 5th-year senior out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And last game, he completed 83% of his completions. I mean, that's impressive. So, 20 of 24 last week, slinging the ball around, got good completions. Let's see how he does in this game versus an improved defense from Miami.
Middle Tennessee comes in 2-1 on the year. They dropped their opener against James Madison and looked terrible in that game, 44-7. But they've bounced back with a couple of wins since then. Cunningham to the outside, hits a receiver, good for 9 yards on the completion. So Corey Couch was covering for Miami, but Jalen Lane, one of the team captains, on the outside with the completion.
Yeah, Cunningham took a shot. Good job delivering the football. And this Middle Tennessee team is going to go fast. Lightning speed.
Yeah, they want to go fast. Peasant, the running back. Good lane to run through up the middle, picks up the first down. Williams and Kinchins from their safety spots, Mark, coming up to make the tackle. This is a good start for Middle Tennessee.
It is. They keep the same personnel on the field the entire drive, a bunch of different formations to give the quarterback 2 calls. He makes the decision at the line. They want to go quick.
Miami brings pressure. DJ Ivey on the coverage, and Cunningham couldn't connect with Lane.
Good coverage by DJ Ivey. A few games ago, had a tough outing, really bounced back last week. 2 pass breakups in that Texas A&M game. They need him to play well on the outside.
Peasant, not a whole lot of running room. Keandre Smith on the stop for Miami, give him maybe a yard, so 3rd and long. Stacking 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen.
It's like small to tall.
It really is. Look at that. Peasant on the carry, avoids the first tackler. Just lowers his shoulder and picks up really good yardage, Mark. He's close to that marker. He's going to come up about a yard shy. Corey Flagg downfield making the stop. Let's see how aggressive that Coach Stockstill wants to be here with the Blue Raiders on 4th down and 1.
Yeah, I think he's going to be aggressive. Brought in their big back, Darius Bracy, 5'10", 215-pound pounder up the middle. And look at Miami's defense. They're all right around that line of scrimmage.
Cunningham has one-on-one on the outside. Goes up a little bit of a trick play here. Direct snap to Bracy, but he's going to be stopped initially shy of the yard to make. But he rolled forward. Was it enough? And it was. Great individual effort.
Wow. Good job of just pushing that second line. And you see Miami, they're trying to sub defensively. Good job getting their guys on and off quickly because, as we mentioned, Middle Tennessee, they're not going to sub very often.
Bracy on the carry. He's going to lose about a foot or 2. Cunningham back to throw, now flushed out of the pocket. He's just going to have to try and throw this one away, although he did have a receiver out in the pattern. Couldn't quite connect. I want to let everybody know we're using the feed from the stadium as we don't have all our cameras quite working because of the weather delay. We'll get that fixed and straightened out for you momentarily.
Yeah, they got the players and the officials on the field faster. We got our cameramen back with their cameras.
We'll show you the images we can until we get all the cameramen and women in place. A great crew here in Miami.
3rd and 11. See if Miami brings some heat. They do. They bring 5.
That's got to be a hole. No flag comes down, though, as Cunningham tries to go deep and had no shot at hitting his receiver, Isaiah Gaddins.
Yeah, you're right. It did look like a holding right in the backfield. I think result of the play will probably be the same for Miami.
Brings on 4th down. Kyle Ulbrich, Ray Guy Award watch list, back to punt for Middle Tennessee. And Ulbrich will look to just cough and corner this one. High kick. Tyreek Stevenson makes the fair catch at his own 10. And we'll get an opportunity to see Miami on offense when we come back. Scoreless here early in Miami Gardens. Scoreless early first quarter. First opportunity to see Tyler Van Dyke in this Hurricane offense. Kept out of the end zone last week in College Station. So looking to get back on track. Henry Parrish getting the start at tailback. The Ole Miss transfer. You'll see a lot of Parrish and Jalen Knight and Rooster, who's getting healthy after being banged up first couple of weeks. Van Dyke to throw on 1st down. It's intercepted.
Picked off. Wow.
Patterson with the interception for Middle Tennessee. And just like that, you'd hope to get the passing game going after being able to run the ball somewhat successfully last week, and it's a pick.
Yeah, and it just, it stared down his target, little quick 3-step game, and it was a good jump on the route by Middle Tennessee's defense. It's again, we talked about miscues, the opportunities lost. I mean, that right there on 1st down, you can't. Good job by Middle Tennessee of getting that interception, and now they're in striking position.
Can Cunningham and the Blue Raiders take advantage? He'll run it, avoids the first tackler. No, tripped him up. Nice job defensively that time. Looked like Messidor off his defensive end spot just got a shoestring for Chase Cunningham and brought him down.
Yeah, Akeem Messidor, one of the transfers on this defensive line, came in for West Virginia. I mean, he has been phenomenal when he has been on the field. Missed one game with injury, but watch out for number 90 in orange. He is disruptive.
Jalen Lane in motion, Cunningham to throw. Underneath, and can't complete it. Yusuf Ali, one of the all-time leading receivers on this Middle Tennessee team, was the intended receiver. Now it's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 last time out. Miami sent pressure with James Williams, their safety, around the line of scrimmage. Down in the red zone, usually see a lot of man-to-man from Miami. Let's see if they go back to it as 23 Corey Couch comes over and is in man-to-man. You see him running with the wide receiver.
Option play to the right side. Peason, nowhere to go. Maybe a yard gain to Corey Couch coming up from that star position, like a hybrid linebacker safety to make the stop. And Middle Tennessee now is going to attempt a field goal to take advantage of that turnover.
Yeah, good job by Middle Tennessee on 3rd and long. They went with something conservative because they knew they had 3 points, or at least the plan is to get 3 points here. Didn't want to turn any momentum back in Miami's hands.
Zeke Rankin from 28 yards. And he buries it. So the Blue Raiders from Middle Tennessee on the road take the early lead. It's 3-0. Kane's going to get the ball back when we come back.
Double overtime thriller in Winston-Salem between Clemson and Wake Forest. Wake Forest facing 4th and 6, needing a touchdown here. Sam Hartman to A.T. Perry. Batted down. Clemson survives a thriller 51-45, 14th straight win for the Tigers. Back to you in Miami, Chris and Mark.
All right, thanks. What a wild finish that was in Winston-Salem. A wild game to begin with, back and forth the entire way. Super entertaining, and Clemson survives. Here in Miami, Miami's defense stopped Middle Tennessee on their first drive. Tyler Van Dyke then took over after a punt and immediately threw a pick. And it ends up being 3 points, so that's why the Blue Raiders are on top here, 3-0. Keyshawn Smith back to return this one from his 3. 10, 15, gets hit hard inside the 20. And that is where Miami will take over once again, hoping to move the ball a little bit better than they did last time.
Well, you can't move the ball any worse than they did last time. Just gave it right over to the other team. And yeah, this is an offense that, you bring back a quarterback who was really just phenomenal last year in terms of what he was able to do through the air. And they've built up this offensive line and running back position where they've been dominant on the ground. And so where you want to get Tyler Van Dyke going in terms of passing the ball, you got to stick to your bread and butter early and hand the ball off.
That's exactly what they will do here. It's Parrish. He rolls and picks up nothing. Gets stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Third member of our crew is Larisha Harris. She joins us right now on the sideline.
Hey guys, we know that the passing game has been an area that needs to improve, and it was a clear weakness in their loss against Texas A&M. Van Dyke finished 21 of 41, 217 yards, and it was the third straight game under 300 yards to begin the season underneath offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis's new offense. And we know that he is missing some of the targets, but he remains optimistic about the offense.
Oh, another reception. This might go into the end zone. It does. Zaylen Wood, a pick six for Middle Tennessee. What is going on? 2 passing attempts, 2 interceptions. One of them finds its way into the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Middle Tennessee, they came to play football. And right now, the guys in orange, especially on that offensive side, they're not lowering their pad level. They're not driving off the ball on the offensive line. I mean, you see the penetration where the offensive lineman almost back in Van Dyke's grill, and then just ball just gets tipped up. I mean, it does not look good right now on that Miami offense. A lot of football left to play, but you dug yourself a hole to a team that is playing more physical right now than you are.
Rankin with the PAT. It's good. Wow. What an unbelievable start to this game. Tyler Van Dyke, 2 passing attempts, 2 interceptions. One of them returned 15 yards by Zaylen Wood for the score, and it's 10-0 in the blink of an eye.
Take another look, see the interception. Good job. I mean, that's just really good job abandoning the pass rush as you see the 3-step by the quarterback, and you get in that window, get that right hand up, and that's a fun time for a big man. Pick 6 into the end zone.
6'1", 280-pound redshirt sophomore from Bowdoin, Georgia. Went to Hearn County High School, and big moment for him.
Yeah, and that's not his first touchdown. He actually had a 6-yard receiving touchdown at Florida Atlantic in 2021. So he's got some good hands for a big guy.
How about Coach Stockstill, Rick Stockstill for Middle Tennessee? He's been there 17 years. He's always preached turnovers. Now, every coach does that. But for him, think about the first game, James Madison. They create 0 turnovers and they get blown out. Next 2 games, they create 6 turnovers and they blow out the opposition. Now here early, 2 turnovers early, and they're leading at Miami 10-0. Smith tripped up at about the 27. So we will once again, for the 3rd time today, see Tyler Van Dyke and Miami take the field offensively. Can they do anything more than just throw it to the other team?
And you talk about Rick Stockstill and forcing turnovers. This is the 203rd game that Rick Stockstill has coached this Middle Tennessee team. They are plus 32 in turnover margin. Plus 32. That's just unbelievable. And they led the nation last year forcing 32 turnovers. And they had good start to this one. Now settle down. Miami offense just needs to settle down.
Parrish tries to bounce it outside. Not a whole lot of room as he's gang tackled by Blue Raiders. And the crowd here that waited along with us for that weather delay, finally seeing them getting a little restless.
And, you throw that first interception and you think, okay, we're not playing a Power 5 school. Maybe it's just a fluke and we can get back. And then you throw that other one for a touchdown. And now all of a sudden it's like, okay, we got to start getting things going. They got to establish some physicality up front.
Parrish dropped in the backfield. Loss of 2. Now you can hear the boo birds coming out. Jordan Ferguson, their best defensive lineman, getting penetration and making the tackle.
Good job. I mean, we're talking a lot of, on the maybe negative side about Miami right now, but you got to give credit to the way Middle Tennessee has come out in this game. This is, you're playing at Hard Rock Stadium, you're playing the U, and you feel like right now there's confidence built on that side of the ball that White is going to be more physical than Orange.
3rd and 11. Van Dyke to throw. Has a receiver out in the flat, makes the catch close to the first down. He may be a little bit shy.
I think he might have gotten it. Good route.
Ladson. Did he get it?
Good route by Ladson. Good job of getting past the sticks and coming back to the football. Got some separation. You got to get some separation against these defensive backs, and that's been something that's been hard to come by Miami this year. Just have not allowed a lot of room for Van Dyke to fit the ball in.
So Ladson was able to convert fresh set of downs, first down of the day for the Hurricanes.
Nothing
doing for fumble the football. That was Knighton who fumbled the football, and it looked like the Blue Raiders fell.
No way.
And they did. The 3rd turnover of the first quarter against Miami.
Wow.
Setting up Middle Tennessee again in Miami territory. This is insane. Jalen Knighton's first carry of the day, puts it on the carpet. You saw him talking with head coach Mario Cristobal when he walked off the field.
Yeah, and Chris, you see the rain coming down. You can see it in this camera view. I mean, it's raining pretty well right now. So, again, you haven't dealt with rain situations in games so far this year, but you got to be more secure. You're absolutely right. Well, and now Middle Tennessee, right? How do you respond? You didn't really get much going off that first turnover. Can you start moving the ball downfield?
Cunningham to throw. Now he rolls the pocket. Tried to get it to his running back, Peason. He might have thrown a pick, and he does.
Nice.
That's a great catch by Cameron Kitchens, the safety.
Nice play by Kitchens, undercutting the route. And, hey, wet footballs equal turnovers. It becomes sloppy.
Obviously.
But there's maybe no game that's exemplified that more than this first quarter. I mean, this is just wild.
So Miami gets it back, Mark. They've had 3 offensive drives, 7 plays, and 3 turnovers, but they get one back.
Look out here. Look at Kitchens. Good job. He understands, okay, this is the guy who's the only one who can get the football. I have help behind me. Good job undercutting that route.
Now Thad Franklin, the big back in for Miami. This is Mario Cristobal saying, I'm sure, we got to get some physicality in this game. I'm going to give it to my 225-pound back, but he throws. Tries to get it to Mallory from the tight end spot, and there was pressure up the middle. Couldn't get anything on it.
You see all the white jerseys in the backfield.
Quickness. Want to remind everybody, we've got some interesting camera angles in this game early. We had a weather delay with lightning early on. We'll have all our cameramen and women in place right now. Once we do, we'll give you some more angles, but this is what you're going to get for the meantime, and it's football. And it's crazy football so far. Van Dyke to throw. That's a receiver open, close to midfield. Again, going to Frank Ladson Jr. DeCorian Patterson was there on coverage, but a good pitch and catch.
And now Miami's going to go fast.
Here's the power back. Franklin was able to keep his footing after one tackler tried to bring him down, give him 7 yards.
Yeah, good job on those consecutive plays. Back-to-back plays. Ladson did a good job of securing the catch in the rain. Give it to your big back, break a tackle, nice yardage. Franklin
again up the middle. Just lowers his shoulder. Can't move the pile. Picks up a yard, 3rd and short.
And that's going to be the question on the receiving core. There's only 6 scholarship receivers for this Miami team right now. Xavier Restrepo is out. Jacoby George, he is out with injury. And so one of these guys has got to step up. So far in this game, it's been Frank Ladson. You mentioned the transfer from Clemson.
Again, going with Franklin. Tough yards in the middle. Pile still moving. Let's see when they blow it dead.
Yeah,
Looks like they're going to blow it dead before that pile kept moving.
Yeah, it looked like they stopped. They blew the whistle as he was about a yard short of that first down.
You're going for this if you're in Cristobal right now. Former offensive lineman.
And you see Will Mallory check into the game at tight end. Not the best blocking tight end. Let's see if he goes out on a route.
Franklin still going. First down.
Good run.
Franklin brings that change of pace, right? I mean, you got Parrish, who's about 190. You got Jalen Knight and Rooster, who's about 190. And then you bring in the thumper, Thad Franklin. He's weighing in at 240. And coach said he's just got to learn to run hard on every snap.
Yeah, and he ran hard on that snap, right? 240 pounds. And he's a good 240, right? Thick lower body, can drive his legs. He can get low down around the ground. That was a really good run by Franklin that last play.
Now Parrish looking to dance. That's what he does best. Eludes a tackler, picks up another first down.
And you see the contrast you mentioned. You got the thumper downhill guy, really good job of setting up that outside cut, cutting it back inside, making a guy miss.
Parrish again on the outside. Gets a block from his tight end.
Flag on the plate.
Picks up about 4. Let's check the marker. First flag of the day and our first chance to check in with our referee, Riley Johnson.
Legal substitution on the defense. 12 men in formation. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Illegal substitution call. Going against Middle Tennessee. There's Henry Parrish, transfer out of Ole Miss, rather.
Yeah, you talk about the importance that he's been to this team. Don Chaney was maybe slotted to be the starter. He got hurt during camp. Jalen Knight, he was banged up coming into the season as well. So it was really just Henry Parrish, the Ole Miss transfer, starting off this year. He has played really well for this Miami offense.
Tried to get it to Latson in the corner of the end zone, and to Corey and Patterson with nice coverage for the Raiders.
When we talked to Mario Cristobal, he kind of said, man, thank goodness we have Henry Parrish on this team, because if they went into that week 1 matchup, they might not have had a running back ready to go.
And Parrish, and you know what, he was ready to go, and he's been playing great from the opening snap.
Yes, exactly right.
So it was 1st and 5 on that last snap after the penalty. Now 2nd down and 5. Thad Franklin back in for the Canes. Raiders want to jump. They're not going to get it. Now we get a whistle and a timeout for Miami. Some confusion offensively.
Timeout. Miami.
Mario Cristobal wants to talk things over. Miami driving down 10 early. Van Dyke overshoots his receiver. That was Romello Brinson. Van Dyke is not sharp right now.
No, he's not. And, he's got to get all the media from the past weeks and the lack of success early in this game. You got to just get it out of your head.
Flush it.
Kind of like a cornerback. You talk about cornerbacks on the outside have to have amnesia, because if you get beat on a long ball, you got to just come back and play your game. Same thing with quarterbacks. You got to be able to get that stuff out of your mind, settle back in. He has the ability to make those throws in the out routes. They just have not been there so far this season. Just
2 for 7 in this game with the 2 picks. Now they split Parrish up to the top of the screen. Try to get it to him on a screen from his defensive end spot. The All-Conference USA Player of the Year candidate on that side of the ball, Jordan Ferguson, knocks it down.
Great play by Jordan Ferguson, understanding that it is. He's understanding that, look, it's empty. It's going to be 3-step. Get my hands up if I'm not blocked. Great job by Jordan Ferguson.
So Andres Borregales will come in and attempt a 39-yard kick. Put the Canes on the board. And it's good. A little bit of a scrum. I'd call that a minor scrum at about the 25. Officials come in, and even some assistant coaches, strength and conditioning coach Feld with that great mustache.
It is a
for
phenomenal
Miami.
mustache.
Maybe the best in all of college football, helping to break things up.
At some point, we'll get a close-up shot of that, because it is a phenomenal mustache. You remember him from Oregon last year, pacing the sidelines.
No doubt about it.
Came over with Cristobal.
Good drive for Miami. Even though Van Dyke still can't quite get going, they were able to exert themselves on the line of scrimmage, weren't they?
Yeah, they did. And there's still some things that you want to get better. But I think what impressed me most in that drive was Frank Ladson and the routes he was running. I think there's been a call to action in the wide receiver room. Look, we don't have our leader in Restrepo. We need guys to step up, and Ladson did a good job of securing some of those catches in the rain. And it just, some drops last week. Haven't seen any drops this week from the wide receivers, which has been nice.
Aurora Borealis is going to put it into play for Miami, and Jalen Lane just watches this one sail over his head. So Middle Tennessee back on offense. 10-3 our score. About just under 5 minutes left to play in this first quarter, which was a wild first quarter. Delayed about 10 minutes because of weather. Got going. 2 really quick interceptions thrown by Tyler Van Dyke before you even took a breath. Middle Tennessee was up 10-0. They hadn't had to drive the length of the field. Their only drive that started in their own territory, they did get past midfield, though.
They did. And they have an interception thrown of their own, so now, okay, their offense needs to settle.
Cunningham gives to Peason. Bangs off the line of scrimmage. That is, man, he runs angry, doesn't he?
He does, and he does a really good job for a bigger back of lowering the shoulder and absorbing the contact and spinning off. We used to see that all the time, Jerome Bettis, right? That same number and everything.
Look at him, no gloves, no pads or anything on his arms.
Nothing.
Split down here at the bottom of the screen. Cunningham has a receiver wide open. Hits him in stride inside the 30, and he stays on his feet. That's England Chisholm will score. DJ England Chisholm, 71 yards, his first touchdown of the year. And the Blue Raiders strike quickly. You thought that Clemson-Wake Forest game was wild. They got nothing on us down here in Miami.
Good job of the offensive line getting protection, but just a blown coverage. Absolutely blown coverage, and good job of keeping his feet all the way to the end zone. My favorite part, which we probably didn't catch on camera, was the offensive line for Middle Tennessee was doing the gritty at the 50-yard line, running down after their wide receiver.
Why not?
Why not?
Zeke Rankin for the PAT. He splits the uprights. And Rick Stockstill trying to do it again, Mark. His teams have beaten Maryland twice on the road, Syracuse, Georgia Tech in Atlanta, Mizzou. Now they're trying to do the trick against a ranked 25th ranked team in Miami here on the road. Stockstill's been there now 17 years, Mark. Played his college ball at Florida State. He's really enjoyed his time at Murfreesboro. The AD's been there for a long time. The president's been there for a long time. He's just comfortable there. He raised his kids there. His son played under him. Now he's an assistant coach. It's just a spot where he feels like he needs to be.
Yeah, and how special is it too when you have a coach with that much success? That this is his home. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. So this is where he wants to be. He loves recruiting in this area. The players love him. I mean, it's just. I think it's really cool, and they mention the meetings that he has with the players. When the players walk out of the meetings, it's always finished with "I love you, coach." It's "I love you back." And there is that type of connection between Stockstill and his players.
Scott Payne will kick it off, 17-3. Middle Tennessee shocking Miami in the first quarter. Keyshawn Smith. Out to the 30, still on his feet, dropped at the 33. Larisha has more on Coach Stockstill.
Well, guys, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree for Brent Stockstill, the quarterback's coach and passing game coordinator. But most importantly, he's the son of head coach Rick Stockstill. Brent is in his second season on Middle Tennessee staff, and his dad said it's been a joy to watch him in this role. He saw Brent complete and work hard as a former Blue Raider record-setting quarterback, and now all those same intangibles he had as a player, he admires them as a coach as well.
Yeah, Coach Stockstill, Rick Stockstill, was humble when asked who was the better quarterback. Now, Brent, I did a bowl game of theirs. He threw for over 400 yards in that bowl game, right? But Rick Stockstill led Florida State to a couple of Orange Bowl appearances back in the late 70s and early 80s when Bobby Bowden was just starting to build the Seminoles. So he was a pretty good quarterback himself back in the day.
Yeah, and you had some good players on this coaching staff, also some good coaches. I mean, when you look at the coaching staff that Rick Stockstill had, Scott Schaefer, he was 3 years as a head coach, and Tommy West, the D-line coach.
Tommy West.
He's the D-line coach.
Right.
Obviously at Chattanooga, Clemson, Memphis, but he was a 5th-round pick in Major League Baseball by the Cubs. And then he played at Tennessee and Tampa Bay in the NFL.
Nice catch. Wow. See, now here's Ladson.
Yeah,
you talked about it. He's stepping up.
He is, and they got to have someone. They got to have someone step up. They have talent, right? I mean, these are a bunch of 4-star recruits that came in. Although they are young, Ladson, the oldest of the group, you got to get someone to step up. Good job by Frank.
Van Dyke to throw. Avoiding a couple of tacklers. Romello Brinson, linebacker Christian Dixon. Transfer from Towson brings him down. 2nd down and about 4.
Sometimes at that wide receiver room, right, success becomes contagious, where you're watching a guy that you're playing with on your team making some good catches. That carries over. Romello Brinson, good hands catch on that last throw.
Parrish straight up the middle. He's able to fall forward for an extra yard or 2. That's enough to move the sticks. Parrish loses his helmet in the activity. He'll have to come off for a play. Jalen Knighton back on. Let's see how Rooster does here after fumbling in his only carry of the day. He'll stay in and block. Van Dyke to throw. Nobody open. Now he just has to chuck it away because he had pressure up the middle.
Yeah, it was good pressure. That was Jalen Knighton's guy he had to block. I think it was Raekwon Hartley, the linebacker, coming through, getting that pressure.
2nd down and 10. You know, Coach Cristobal, when we were talking to him earlier this week, he talked about the times that they were able to hit Max Johnson last week at A&M and how many times Van Dyke got hit and how there was a discrepancy. They were doing the hitting. In this game, Van Dyke's gotten dropped a couple of times. On the end around, Keyshawn Smith trying to get out in space. He can't find any.
Good job by the defensive end, Jordan Ferguson. He didn't make the tackle, but he got that edge set and forced Keyshawn Smith to cut up the field. And now on 3rd and 9, haven't been too many down the field passes from Tyler Van Dyke, and when they have gotten those chunks, it has been to Frank Ladson.
Emptying out the backfield. Middle Tennessee showing a little bit of pressure up the middle.
Yeah, they got 5 guys walked up there.
Right, now they bring Parrish back.
Yeah, this doesn't look good.
Parrish is going to stay and protect, and there is protection. Van Dyke has enough time to get to a receiver. Rashard Smith on the completion, 1st down.
Nice job by Josh Gaddis, the OC, and Tyler Van Dyke recognizing the defense, bringing another guy in to help block, and a really good route by Rashard Smith for the 1st down.
Keeping it on the ground, Parrish close to another 1st down. They'll give him 10 yards, and they'll move the chains. Now Miami's starting to blow some Blue Raiders off the ball. 1st and 10. They want to go quickly. Parrish again. Nothing doing. Ferguson is, when you're a defensive lineman and you're wearing a single-digit number, you better play really well. And
right.
Ferguson has earned that number, and he's playing really well.
Yeah, he is. And you'd wonder how he would do against this. This is a big offensive line, one that's been playing really well, but he has been having his way right now with John Campbell, the left tackle for Miami.
Final minute of this 1st quarter. Knighton on the swing pass. Nice job defensively coming in from the secondary. DeCorian Patterson knifing in and bringing down Jalen Knighton for a loss.
Good job by DeCorian Patterson. Just recognizing the play, diagnosing it, and getting downhill. Good tackle. And
you find a cast of characters like that, you've got yourself one hell of a team.
First-year head coach Mario Cristobal coming off his first loss since returning to his alma mater as the head coach. Struggling with his team here in the first quarter, down 17-3, facing a 3rd and long. Middle Tennessee brings pressure. They hit Van Dyke, who has a receiver in the end zone and falls down. Flags all over the place.
Yeah, it looked like Middle Tennessee jumped. A free play.
Offside. Defense number 9. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, Ferguson jumped, so that gives a reprieve to Miami in this offense. Think about it, Mark. Held out of the end zone for all 4 quarters last week in College Station, and now the first quarter here at home. Got to find a way to hit Pater.
And look at all the white jerseys around the line of scrimmage. Think they're going to bring pressure? That's man-to-man all the way. Let's see if these wide receivers can get open.
And Scott Schaefer, defensive coordinator.
And now they're adjusting their defensive coverage.
Van Dyke to throw, looking to the end zone. As a receiver out there, it's Ladson, but stopped well shy of the first down marker to gain. DeCorian Patterson did a nice job in coverage there. So now what do you do?
Well, you know, they had a lot of moments last week where they had 3rd down plays where they ran the football and they said, look, we would go for it on 4th down and 2 or less. Now, this is not that case. This is 4th down and 4, which makes it there a lot less options in terms of run-pass options. This one's probably going to go through the air.
Yeah, they're going for it here. They got that Franklin split at the top of your screen.
And Middle Tennessee just can't jump. Don't give them a free 1st down.
Van Dyke to throw to the end zone.
Wow.
Try to hit Mallory, and a lot of hot sauce on that pass goes through his hands. Turnover on downs.
Wow. Yeah, again, you wanna. You're
is right. Middle Tennessee leading Miami here early 2nd quarter. Hurricanes 3 turnovers in this game. 2 of the interceptions thrown by Tyler Van Dyke led directly to 10 points. And the last time Middle Tennessee had the ball, a 71-yard bomb. That's why they put 17 on the board already. This pass dropped, incomplete, intended for Yusuf Ali. It'll be 2nd down and 10. There's Rick Stockstill. 17th year in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, shaking his head. Why one of his most sure-handed receivers could drop that pass. He can't believe it.
You're going to see a whole bunch of different wide receivers from this Middle Tennessee team. And they list everybody as a wide receiver, whether you're 6'5", 220, or you're 5'8", 190.
This is one of those 5'8", 190 guys, and he's making a lot of players miss. That's Jalen Lane, and he's got a lot of speed. Inside of Miami territory, inside the 30, inside the 20. Dragged down at the 5. Tyreek Stevenson had to chase him down. 2 huge plays.
And Middle Tennessee, they're going to go fast. I mean, again, they go fast. They're going to get up to the ball. It's probably a run play now, but this is just really terrible tackling. That's a terrible angle by Corey Flagg, and where's everybody else?
Bracy takes the handoff. Inside the 5, down to the 2.
Two gigantic blown coverage is by Miami.
Hadn't allowed a play of 50-plus yards all year. 2 in the last 3 plays. Bracy again, nowhere to go. Just swallowed up that time by Jafari Harvey. Miami defense has got to bow up here, Mark.
Yeah, they do. Harvey, really good player. The defensive line for Miami, they are really good. They're really good. They've improved from what they were last year. They brought in a bunch of new guys. But right now, Middle Tennessee is taking them out of the game with a lot of the quick throws and the empty sets. Now they'll have a chance to stop the run.
Now whistles blow this one dead before we even got started.
False start. Offense. The left guard. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Defensive front. A lot of transfers, Mark. And Cristobal said it. We went out there in the transfer portal purposely to try and bolster ourselves, and that's what they did.
Yeah, and they did. And you see Akeem Messidor mentioned him earlier from West Virginia. He has been phenomenal for them. Daryl Jackson, number 6, the big man up front, has also been a force to be reckoned with in the middle.
Peason out of the backfield. Cunningham's going to take it himself inside the 5. He'll score!
Wow. Well, Chase Cunningham had an ACL injury last year. We talked to Rick Stockstill. He said, look, he's athletic enough. He can run the football. Not as great as he was last year. This was great. I mean, good job by the offensive line. Just where is everybody? Poor read by Corey Flagg, number 11. He buried his nose up in the line of scrimmage, didn't see the puller, and wide open lane for Cunningham to run the football in the end zone.
That puller was big old Jakeem Graham, number 64, paving the way for his quarterback. The shocking score in Miami Gardens continues. 2 huge plays.
But Notre Dame's offense is clicking here. Drew Pine hits Lorenzo Styles for the 30-yard touchdown. Irish up 14-7 in the second. Chris and Mark, we got a ball game in Chapel Hill.
And we got a crazy one here, and you see Gilbert Frierson, number 3, their star player, meaning star position and leader. He gathered the entire team around him on the sidelines during that last break. And it looked like the emotion of, look, we gotta settle down. We are better than this. We gotta play better than this, and we'll see how this offense responds when they take the field next.
Yeah, Frierson, 5th-year junior, played his high school ball at Coral Gables High School. Jonathan Vilma played there as well, right around the corner from the campus, literally walking distance from the campus. Just bleeds Hurricane Orange, and right now there's a lot of bleeding with that Hurricane Orange. 24-3. It's where we sit right now at the 12-11 point, and both offensively and defensively. Too many turnovers on the offensive side, and defensively too many big plays given up.
Yeah, and some of it honestly feels like lack of effort, which is hard, right? That stuff can't be coached. You got to go out there and you got to give the effort. But on that last long catch and run by Middle Tennessee, you just didn't see the guys really straining to make that tackle.
Pressure on the edge. Van Dyke steps away from it, looking for a receiver. He'll take it himself and put his nose down and just get back to the line of scrimmage. Time now for Food Lions Food for Thought. As we look at Tyler Van Dyke, and he just, the passing game just hasn't quite been there. And one of the things, Mark, when you look at it too, is, Will Mallory and Elijah Arroyo. He's got one of the best tight end tandems in college football. No touchdowns so far for those guys. Now, Mallory had 6 catches last week, but I just feel like he hasn't quite been able to get in sync with those guys, nor his receivers on the outside.
Yeah, I think those numbers are a little bit misleading. I mean, they look practically the same. But those numbers from last year, they include the first 3 games that he ever played, and that he was not in rhythm. Towards the end of the year, he was on fire. And the average yards per completion were way up. The yards per game were way up. And so it just feels again like this offense isn't clicking in the pass game.
He hit Mallory there to get him close to first down yardage, and now Parrish gets free on the outside. Flag down behind the play. Yeah, Mark.
Holding. Offense number 85. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Mark, you said it earlier in the broadcast. Will Mallory is an exceptional tight end, but he's not the best blocker.
No, liability is a strong word, but this happens all the time. He always gets his hands outside the shoulder pads, and has gotten called for a bunch of holding calls so far this year, all in those similar type of efforts. Dominic Mamarelli, number 86, probably the best blocking tight end on this offense.
So he giveth and then taketh away. 3rd and 1 goes to 3rd and 11. Redding in motion. Van Dyke. Downfield to Brinson. Incomplete. More Bluebirds come raining down.
Yeah, and good pressure by Christian Dixon. The transfer from Townsend just beat the block of the running back and got his hand in the face of Tyler Van Dyke, forcing an errant throw.
And the belief grows on that side of the field. Blue and silver.
That belief started off early. I mean, they can't. And again, anytime that you're maybe an underdog in a game, you believe, right? Your locker room believes you're going to come in and play. And it's that first drive, right? Or that first big, oh, that's almost blocked.
Almost, and it was a great punt. Lou Headley And this could be a huge mistake, but unfortunately, or fortunately for Middle Tennessee, Jalen Lane fell on it. Wow, that's a great punt, because that could have been blocked.
Oh my gosh.
24-3 here in the second quarter. Middle Tennessee with the lead. Almost got his punt blocked. Instead, he uncorks a 57-yarder. And Jalen Lane almost makes a huge mistake for Middle Tennessee, but he falls on it.
Yeah, and for these Blue Raiders, they've already blocked 2 this year, and under Rick Stockstill, they've blocked 50 total kicks since he's been here.
Peasant with the carry, 4 yards. Now Peasant will be split wide at the bottom of your screen. Empty backfield. Here you see Chase Cunningham's numbers. He's just had 2 huge pass completions. Cunningham underneath. This big receiver, that's Markel Tinsley. Makes the catch. They'll move the chains.
Yeah, Tinsley, one of the bigger guys. They call him big Y's, not tight ends, big Y's. Because with that tempo, they just don't want to sub in terms of the slow down in terms of substitutions.
Nice job defensively by Miami, and James Williams, Darrell Porter Jr. on that screen fighting through the block.
Yeah, James Williams, he's one of the guys that he can be a big leader for this team. He's only a sophomore out of Fort Lauderdale, but he has all the ability you ever need. He's been playing at a really high level. He'll mix between that free safety and down in the box role for this Miami defense.
Again, out to Tinsley. Can't make enough defenders miss as Miami gang tackles him after a gain of a couple. Wayman Steed from that linebacker spot leading the charge. So an opportunity for this defense to get off the field on 3rd and 6.
Yeah, big opportunity. Good job coming to the ball. Getting more guys there. It's still too much hesitation. You saw number 40, Caleb Johnson, pause and slow down on 3rd and 6. You got to capitalize.
Cunningham, there's pressure. He rolls, hits his receiver, but he's going to be shy of the first down. Gathings was the receiver, and Al Blades Jr., that's a name every Miami fan can certainly relate to. Came up to make the tackle, now 4th and 1. Up 21, got to punt this thing away. And that's exactly what Rick Stockstill is going to do, we think. Sends his punter out there. Brashard Smith will go back to return this one for Miami. Then number 13, Kyle Ulbrich, will put a foot into it. Coach Cristobal trying to find return men with Restrepo out, so Brashard will get an opportunity here. Good punt from Ulbrich. Sends Brashard back to his 12. He'll make a fair catch there. Another chance for the Canes, trailing 24-3 here midway through the second.
Talking to his quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, just giving him a pep talk, and also talking to the receivers, reminding them of who they are. Restrepo told the wide receivers that they need to step up and do their job and get open, but he also reminded Van Dyke of his ability and said, it's time for you to take over the game and do what you do best.
Let's see if he can do it right here. Ladson on the receiving end, another marker down at the line of scrimmage. Ladson picks up about 6.
Lined up in that unbalanced formation again where the tight end was covered up, so you wonder if there's a illegal formation. There it is.
On the offense, more than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And they're lining up where the last man on the line of scrimmage towards the left side is an offensive lineman, so you got to have 2 wide receivers or 2 receiving bodies to the right side on the ball. It didn't look like Ladson was on the ball all the way.
1st and 15 for the Canes. Still no trips to the end zone. Ladson, oh, he took a big hit in the middle of the field and hung on.
Impressed with Ladson so far in this game. Good throw, little on the back shoulder. Tyler Van Dyke saw that safety coming over.
Trey Fluellen got him right in the kidney.
Yep.
Eesh. 2nd down and 1. So good pickup after the penalty.
Again, look at Middle Tennessee, all up in the line of scrimmage, showing pressure.
Got 6 in the box, and they're bringing them all up the middle. Picked up. Overthrew his intended receiver, Michael Redding. It has been a tough week for Tyler Van Dyke, answering, you talked about it earlier, Mark, the media, when he was talking about this stadium versus playing on the road and whatnot, and now he's hearing the boo birds. He's off target today. He's got to stay focused, doesn't he?
He does, and especially when other teams bring pressure, you know you got man-to-man. You got to put the ball in the area where a wide receiver can catch it.
Now to give to Parrish. Oh, he gets met and driven back, but he's going to get the 1st down. Raekwon Hartley did a nice job coming from that weak side backer spot, but it was just enough for Parrish to move the sticks.
Physical play on both sides of the football. Good job of just getting that extra yard.
Van Dyke, pump fake. Has a receiver downfield, covered nicely, maybe too early. Yes, it was. Fluellen just got there a beat too soon, and that'll be pass interference.
Yeah, and you know, who knows if that was catchable or not, but.
Number 17, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic 1st down.
Yeah, that's that was a smoke screen. They pumped the outside bubble and sent the guys long. Yeah, that's a good call. Got there too early. Ball was catchable.
So a break for Miami now as they can get out of the shadow of their own goalpost. Knighton on the carry. Tries to dance, can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Ferguson, Cook, and several others combine on the stop.
And this is actually, you know, you're watching Middle Tennessee do what Miami is going to have to expect teams to do. They're going to load up and stop the run and force Miami to beat them through the air. Until Miami proves that they're going to get the ball downfield to these wide receivers. Look at Middle Tennessee. They're just, I mean, there's 7 to 8 guys right there to stop the run.
And they bring pressure on the edge. It's picked up, and that play was read beautifully by Van Dyke. Arroyo on the catch. He'll be close to the 1st down mark. Let's see where they mark it. Teldrick Ross was there to finally push him out of bounds, but he saw the pressure coming from the right side, Mark. Check to his tight end here on the left.
Yeah, and good, right? A good job of getting it to your tight end. Understand there's going to be one-on-one coverage. A little bit loose defensively by Middle Tennessee, and now on 3rd and 1. Got that big back in the game again.
Franklin in the eye, gets the carry, sidesteps a tackler,
Stuffed.
doesn't get there though.
Stuffed.
It's gonna bring up 4th down.
Like Ralph Mency, number 94, was the first one there. It's good job by the linebackers. 34, Christian Dixon getting downhill on 3rd and 1, and Miami, they're going for it.
Parrish, close.
Stuffed.
I think he got there though, Mark.
Close, so close. I think he did get there.
Yeah, he did. Middle Tennessee won't like it as they're celebrating, but he didn't have to get far, and he got just enough. Had to get about maybe a foot, and he got there according to the officials.
The ruling on the field, the runner made the line to gain, 1st down.
And let's see, they got to get to the 49-yard line.
Under further review.
It's going to be really difficult, Mark, to change this.
Yeah,
I think he got there anyways, but
and gosh, man, it's like right at the 49.
Coach Stockstill with a smile. Still has to be pretty happy with the fact that on 2 consecutive plays, his front bowed up. And that yard was not easy to get in those last 2 plays, man.
It sure wasn't. And on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, when you got 3rd and 1, and you're almost stopping them. You give up 1 yard in 2 plays. Like, that's really good run defense. And let's see, right there, it's so hard to tell from this angle whether that ball in the left arm, that nose touches that 49. And again, because the call on the field was a first down, I don't see them overturning it.
Yeah. Another great job by 41, Raekwon Hartley, just shoving the blocker away and making that stop.
Yeah, and anytime you're in short yardage, you want to get the feet of the running back, because if you can wrap up the feet, there's nowhere for them to go. They can just lean from there on out.
No drive.
No drive.
Good shot at both of our head coaches today. Know each other pretty well. They faced off against each other when Cristobal was at FIU back in the day.
Yep.
Both wanting explanations from the officials. That's great.
Yep. And regardless of the outcome of this, there's two very different feelings in very different tastes in the mouth of both these coaches. Cristobal's like, man, we are having a tough time getting 1 yard. And Rick Stockstill's saying, man, this is what we want on the line of scrimmage.
Our referee, Riley Johnson, consulting with the replay of booth up here. Rusty Acree is our replay official today. We get one more look at it. I just don't see any looks that will change this call on the field. The call on the field is a first down. Had to get to the 49.
Yep, and right there the ball's back, but a half a second earlier, the ball swung forward in his arm, and it looked like it was touching right at that 49-yard line. Now, they'll place the ball possibly with that tip right at the 49-yard line, and then they might remeasure.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
There you go.
Exactly. There's not enough evidence to overturn that call. So nice play by Trey Fluellen in this Middle Tennessee defense, but it was just enough for Miami to pick up the first down. Now back to work for Mario Cristobal, Josh Gaddis and company, trying to get into that end zone.
And already 7 plays on this drive, and they haven't even reached the 50-yard line. They're taking some time off the clock for sure.
Van Dyke to throw. Middle Tennessee brings just 4. Now going deep. Overshoots his intended receiver, Redding. Had single coverage.
Yeah, Redding looked like he had Deontay Stanley beat. Little hand fighting. Just too far out from the quarterback. Just not on the same page right now with his wide receivers.
2nd and 10 from just shy of midfield, empty backfield. Van Dyke looking near side. That's Ladson. Gets down to about the 42. Patterson drives him to the turf. He's close to another first down. It won't be though. Looks like it's just shy, Mark. 3rd and less than a yard. They'll keep Parrish in there, try and pick this up.
In Middle Tennessee, defensively, they're okay. You want to catch the ball in front of us? That's fine. We'll come up and make a tackle. Keep that clock running. Up 21 before half.
Pressure coming off the edge. They stop him in the backfield. No first down.
Raekwon Hartley just came from that linebacker spot and noticed. I mean, Middle Tennessee, how often do you see 3 linebackers on the field on 3rd down from any team in college football nowadays? You don't. Middle Tennessee's doing it. They understand, look, this is a run-first offense. Let's keep our big linebackers on the field. They brought their Raekwon Hartley right off the edge. Perfect timing. And just stopped. The ball looked like it came out, too.
Yeah, it did come out. You had DeMonte Smith came up with it. 4th down, going for it here. Parrish is going to get to the outside and get the first down and a lot more. Does he stay in bounds? Just shoved out, or he'd have been gone. But that'll move the sticks for the Canes.
That was all Henry Parrish. That's it. His ball was supposed to go up the middle. Really good job getting on the outside. And good block. Really good block by Michael Redding, number 83, just to get some depth on his defender. Henry Parrish, he knows he could have had 6 if he didn't step out.
Drive continues. Fake to Parrish. Pressure forcing Van Dyke to just throw it away. Did have a receiver out in the pattern.
They called roughing the passer on that.
Yeah, they're going to get him late. That's Fluelin in there along with Ferguson.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 17. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And you see 17. I don't know. I don't see it. It was all in one motion. Again, you want to protect the quarterbacks, but I don't know whether they said he hit him in the helmet or what it was, but
Canes will take it. And now Coach Stockstill, you see, wants to call a timeout.
Timeout, Middle Tennessee.
He's fired up about something.
Of this half.
yeah, he's fired up about the call. Not because he thought it was a bad call, but just, again, you don't need to push at the end by Trey Fluellen. And you know, Rick Stockstill understands, like, look, he's beaten some of these Power 5 teams before. You can't give them extra opportunities when you have them stopped. And I think that's the message right now. Like, look, you're playing with some swagger. You're playing really good football, but this is still Miami Hurricanes, and you can't give them those extra opportunities, putting them down in scoring range.
You mentioned the FBS Power 5 teams that he's beaten in his years at Middle Tennessee, a couple of times with Maryland. All on the road, too.
Yeah, well, Middle Tennessee doesn't get to host many Power 5 games.
You're not going to Murfreesboro very often. Lovely town, though, in Tennessee. I got to tell you that. Near Nashville and Knoxville. It's in a beautiful spot. Fresh set of downs for the Canes. Big Tat Franklin in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Ferguson hanging on. Not let him get very far. Give him 2 yards.
And it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of change of the play allowed for Tyler Van Dyke when he gets to the line of scrimmage. That last play, he had a wide receiver in the slot that was uncovered. And it calls out just a hitch route. Just throw it out to the guy. But it looks like they're just running the plays that are called on the sidelines. Now they're looking back. But I would love to see a little bit more freedom for Tyler Van Dyke to adjust that play call at the line of scrimmage.
Long drive here for Miami. Parrish runs hard right into the thick of that defense. Carrying tacklers with him. Third and 2.
Yeah, the 13th play of the drive. We're both about to say. I mean, these are long drives.
I was just thinking that when I saw Ferguson hanging on that last play. Man, those defensive linemen have got to be winded.
They got to be, and that'll give the advantage to Miami. They brought in 86. Mammarelli, the lead blocking tight end.
Gonna throw. He's gonna roll it out. Oh, he had a receiver open too. Had Redding right at the goal line and overshot him.
And the fans not happy. This is it. This is exactly what you want. You got your guy. Quick outside route. Beat the guy to the flat. Now, yeah, we don't know whether, okay, Redding's look at that.
Fans exasperated.
And you know, whether it's the route depth or just inaccuracy of the quarterback or the two combined. There's always a reason, but those have to be completions. Now 4th and 3.
We've already converted 2 4th downs on this drive alone. Henry Parrish now in the backfield, in motion. Gets it. He'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Canes.
Nice individual effort by Henry Parrish.
And that whole drive.
He has been, I mean, you see how exhausted he is. A 15-play drive, Henry Parrish. Understand that Middle Tennessee's in man-to-man. Get the defender's eyes inside, and Parrish gave everything he had at the very end of this one.
16 plays on that drive, man. Well, that was a gut check at the end of the half, if I ever saw one. Borregales It's the PAT, and I spoke too soon, though. There's a minute 20 left to go. We ain't at the end of this half yet. Still time for Coach Stockstill, his team, offensive coordinator Mitch Stewart, his first year at Middle Tennessee, to get something going here in the final minute 20.
Yeah, and on the flip side, it's also an opportunity for this Miami defense to come out and get a stop. Your offense was aided by some penalties, but you drove down the field. 15 plays, 87 yards, or 16 plays, excuse me, took off 6.5 minutes off the clock. Now defensively, can you come back and respond and set a tone going into halftime to saying, look, the last 2 drives, this is what we are as a Miami football team. It's an opportunity. Let's see what they do with it.
Blue Shoot Borregales will kick off. Jalen Lane deep alongside Yusuf Ali.
I like that blue shoe. I didn't realize.
Yeah, right. It might be almost kind of dolphin blue.
Yeah.
Why not? Here in this stadium, matches the seats. Dolphins against Buffalo tomorrow, right here in this very stadium. And boy, there are a lot of Buffalo Bills fans in town. All right, minute 20. How aggressive do you want to be if you're Coach Stockstill and your offensive coordinator, Mitch Stewart?
I want to be aggressive on first down. You want to see if you can break another big one. And if you get to second down and long, maybe you're more conservative because you don't want to give the ball back to Miami with time on the clock.
2 timeouts on the board for Miami, 2 Peason will run it. He won't get anywhere. And Miami will take their second timeout. So Miami's going to try and force them to do something here on this possession.
Yeah, and with only 1 timeout left, if they do get the ball back, it's going to be with not much time on the clock. But you talk about a minute 12 and the fast-paced offense that Middle Tennessee has, and you talk to coach, they didn't even install a huddle. They don't, like, that's not a part of anything. They don't know how to do it. No. And so they're used to going.
Operator, let's put 1:13 on the game clock. 1:13. Thank you.
They know how to go fast. Pretty much every drive is like a 2-minute drive. So if they can get something going, there's plenty of time for them. But as Mario Cristobal is trying to do, he's trying to get that stop so Miami can get another shot to put the ball in the end zone.
Got Peason at the top of your screen. Cunningham will run it. Doesn't get that first down, but he's within a yard. Now we'll get another timeout.
Timeout, Miami. 3rd and final of the half.
While we await this timeout, I'll remind you, coming up later at 6:30 Eastern, ACC Huddle Crew back. Highlights, complete breakdowns of all the afternoon games. Jordan Cornette, E.J. Manuel's back home in T-Town, as is Mark Riggs, along with Eddie Royal. Get you ready for BC and Florida State at 8. Then after the game, they'll have a full post-game show, wrap-up, highlights of the entire day in the ACC, right here on the ACC Network and streaming on the ESPN app. What do you want to do if you're Middle Tennessee here? This is interesting. You can be really aggressive. You can just try and pick up, be conservative, just try and pick up that first down, get yourself out of trouble.
I think that the conversation with Chase Cunningham is, look, don't throw the ball into traffic. Try to run the ball for a first down if you need to.
That's what he's going to try and do here, and he won't get there.
Oh, good job by the defensive front for Miami.
Darrell Jackson and company leading the charge, so it'll be 4th down. That clock will keep ticking, but Middle Tennessee's going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, and that's the idea from Rick Stockstill. Look, we know that if we put the ball in the air and get an incompletion, now we're possibly giving it the ball back to Miami with 45, 50 seconds left on the clock. Now, if we do get stopped and we're running the football, you're going to get the ball back with about 15, 12 seconds left. And then with the way that Miami's been moving the football, it's going to be hard for them to get any points.
Middle Tennessee will just let this play clock run all the way down. Take a timeout.
Middle Tennessee, 30-second timeout, second of this half.
So Kyle Ulbrich, one of the top punters in the country, will get an opportunity to punt it deep, and most importantly for him, he just wants to get rid of it quickly.
Number 12 for Miami is changing his jersey to number 33.
Thank you, Mr. Official, our referee Riley Johnson. Hey, coming up at the half, our ACC Network halftime show. We're going to break down our first half here, and obviously there's going to be a lot to talk about with Coach Rick, JC, and EJ, and the whole crew. Thriller at Winston-Salem. Wait till you see how this game went down between Clemson and Wake Forest, and then updates from North Carolina and Notre Dame. That game's going on right now. It's all coming up at the half. Darrell Royal with the crew down in Tallahassee. I should say up in Tallahassee. Not very often you have a chance to say that.
Right.
That's the case today. Hopefully their weather is still beautiful. They haven't gotten the weather we had at the start of our game today. There's Ulbrich. That's a really nice kick. Brashard Smith just lets it bounce.
And
still bouncing. Couldn't have gone any better for Middle Tennessee.
yeah, the coaching point for Brashard Smith, if the idea was to get the ball back in your offense's hands, you got to catch that football. So you can't let another 2 or 3 seconds run off the clock with it just rolling around. But you know, with 9 seconds left, you got to imagine it's just take a knee getting to halftime.
And make some serious adjustments down 14.
Just some attitude adjustments.
33 is now number 12 for Miami. The jersey has been changed back to number 12.
And, you know, it's just attitude adjustments, okay? You know, looks flat. Just even the long drives haven't looked very precise. You need to execute. You need to have a little bit more oomph behind whatever you're doing.
Franklin gets about 9, and that should do it. An eventful first half that did not start anywhere near the way Mario Cristobal and Miami wanted it to, but they hung in there. They were down 24-3, put a touchdown on the board towards the end of that first half. And they go into the locker room trailing that man right there, Rick Stockstill, and his Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders by 14. Larisha standing by with Mario Cristobal.
Coach, a slow start to the game. What more do you need to see out of your offense to be efficient?
Well, we couldn't start any worse than what we did, you know, with those turnovers and then scoring a touchdown. So we got to get back into execution. We got to do a better job with our mentality. We got to do a better job with our resiliency.
Thank you, Coach.
The resiliency, the mentality. Back to square one for this Canes team, but a full half still to come. All Blue Raiders early, turning turnovers into points and big plays. Miami fighting back to stay in the game. Jordan Cornette, the rest of the
Covers that get you down, or the big plays you gave up. I mean, it just got to be different. And start out right here. Your first pass of the game, interception thrown. And then this was on the second pass of the game, another interception thrown for a pick 6. And then the third series, you fumble the football. So like that's how you start offensively. And again, obviously that's not good enough. Defense stepped up, got a turnover of their own, and then a bust defensively led to this long touchdown pass. And it just has been back and forth with turnovers, big plays. It's been issues really for Miami, and then Middle Tennessee hasn't done much besides those 2 big plays. But you mentioned that long drive to end the half for Miami. You get a 16-play drive, 6 minutes off the clock. You got to build on that as you get the ball back to start the second half.
Keyshawn Smith tripped up before he gets to the 20, so Miami will start inside their own 20-yard line. Tyler Van Dyke, his numbers, nothing to write home about in that first half, and he was even hearing it from the crowd here at Hard Rock. It's 13 of 25, 114 yards. The touchdown that you saw to Parrish in those 2 picks at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, well, at least he's back in the positives in terms of passer rating. His passer rating after the first 2 throws were negative 200. I mean, that's
right.
Basically as bad as you can get. But he's had Frank Ladson step up on the outside at wide receiver, getting some separation.
To throw on first down, has all kinds of time over the middle, hits a tight end Arroyo. First down for Miami. Send it down to the field, and Larisha Harris.
I spoke with head coach Rick Stockstill, and he told me that he was proud of the way his guys played defensively. They had big stops, and they were able to stop the run as well. But as it pertains to his offense, he says he needs to see more. They only have 5 first downs, so he wants them to be a little bit more explosive on the back end. He said, hey, they are doing a great job to keep that momentum going. He had to emphasize, guys, we're not scared. We've been here. We've done this, so let's continue doing what we're doing now.
Yeah, they have. And to your point, Larisha, 160 yards on 2 plays. 26 other plays and only 76 yards covered on those other 26 plays.
Yeah, and good thing they don't take plays off the game. That's what's been keeping you in it. And I think on the other side of the ball too, you look at Miami. Their yardage in the first half just was not there. They ran a ton of plays, but were not able to get big chunks on anything.
Now here's 2nd and 8. Play fake. Going deep, trying to get Ladson, who's tugged on his jersey.
Oh, yeah,
and
there
now
you go.
The flag comes. Yeah, that was obvious. Jalen Jackson was beat and just had to grab a handful of jersey.
Yeah, the field judge waved it off, didn't throw a flag, but you see the back judge.
Defense, number 23, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And you'll see very clearly here, that's grabbing on the shoulder pads. And that restricted Ladson.
So just like that, Miami now near midfield. They'll bring the big back, Thaddius Franklin, in. 3rd defensive penalty of the game against Middle Tennessee. Franklin.
Ooh.
Running tough, picking up 2 yards the hard way. First half stats of the game, you can see the yardage difference. It's not that much though. I mean, it's pretty much the same, but again, we talk about how much 160 of those 236 yards were on 2 plays. 5 first downs.
Yeah, but when you look at Miami ran 51 plays in that first half, as opposed to 28 plays run by Middle Tennessee. So we look at yards per play. That's where the big differential is.
Middle Tennessee's a quick, no-huddle team, too.
Yeah.
When was the last time you thought they had 26 plays and a half?
It was
years.
Years.
I mean, think about that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And completely dominated time of possession for Miami, even though they did have those turnovers. So
also a turnover. Remember, they had a turnover on downs deep in Middle Tennessee territory.
True.
So they drove it down, went for it on 4th down, and didn't get it. Red zone struggles certainly for Miami. To a lesser extent, Middle Tennessee. They got that touchdown run from Cunningham as an open receiver. It dropped. A little bit behind Redding, Mark, but I think he's got to make that catch, help his quarterback out.
Well, you thought right, Chris. He has to. Plagued by drops last week. 8 drops in that game versus Texas A&M. This ball, it's a good pass. Got to be caught. Especially on 3rd down. Not able to convert on 3rd down. You get a wide receiver in the right spot versus the cover 2 defense. Just got to come down with that catch.
Will Hutchinson punting for Miami. Lou Headley had a lower body injury during that first half, so Hutchinson has come in and done a really good job. This one sky high. Fair catch made by Jalen Lane at his own 16-yard line. Early in the second half. Middle Tennessee with the lead and the ball when we come back. To support Extra Yard for Teachers, recognize and resource initiatives, follow at CFP Extra Yard or scan that QR code right there that you see on the screen. Loss of 3 on first down.
Good job by Darryl Porter. The transfer from West Virginia, making that tackle, staying home. His father, Darryl Porter, DB, Boston College in the NFL with Miami and Buffalo.
Peason helping out blocking. Dropped. DJ England Chisholm Had the big 71-yard touchdown catch in the first half. Can't bring that one in.
Yeah, and this is what Stockstill was talking about in terms of offensively. Just haven't been able to create the third and shorts. It's always been, there's been a lot of third and longs. They haven't been able to capitalize.
Only 1 for 6 converting on any third down.
Correct.
Of any length.
That interesting stack formation at the top of your screen again.
I'll give it to the back, and he'll have no chance. Pizant dropped by Jafari Harvey, and looks like a 3 and out for Middle Tennessee.
A little chippy.
Field position battle here early in the second half. Miami had to punt. Now forcing Middle Tennessee to punt. Let's see how well Kyle Ulbrich can do shifting the field. Got Rashard Smith standing at his own 30 for the Canes.
Whoa.
Low kick. Smith is going to let it bounce and roll. Down at the 25. Mario Cristobal back in Coral Gables with the Canes. Trailing by 14 though. Today, 24-10, Miami trailing Middle Tennessee. Coming up at 8 Eastern on the ACC Network, our day is capped with our primetime matchup. Boston College is in Tallahassee taking on Florida State. It's on the ACC Network. It's also streaming live on the ESPN app.
Really impressed with how Tate Rodemaker played after Jordan Travis went down last week.
Yeah, Travis is back supposedly.
Yeah.
Feeling okay, so we'll see how that plays itself out. So Boston College offensively, I thought we'd see a lot more from them. Maybe today's the day. Maybe tonight's the night. We'll put it all together. Check it out tonight on the ACC Network. Van Dyke flushed out of the pocket. Coming after him hard. Dropped. Franklin. Again, the drops are plaguing the Canes. I don't know how much Franklin would have gotten on that play, but gets nothing with a drop.
Good elusiveness by Van Dyke. Yeah, read the pressure, rolled out. Again, it's just whether it's drops or inaccuracy of the football, this passing game has just not been working.
Middle Tennessee showed pressure there a little bit. Brought Teldrick Ross from his safety spot up. Now he's back. Now he's looking to come. Pressure off the edge, too. Completes it. That time he was able to hit Rashard Smith for a short gain. It'll bring up third down.
Yeah, and again, you're getting 11 personnel from Miami, meaning there's 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. And Middle Tennessee is just leaving their base defense on the field, saying, look, our linebackers can cover your wide receivers. Good coverage by Raekwon Harkley on that last play.
Miami 3 for 11 on third down today. Now Tyler Van Dyke looking to the sideline. Van Dyke to throw on third down. Over the middle, has his receiver, hangs on after the hit, and they'll move the chains. Keyshawn Smith making the catch for the Canes.
I like that route combination of slant flat, get the running back out in the flat, linebacker over pursuit, and good job by Tyler Van Dyke using his eyes to move the linebacker outside, and good delivery to Keyshawn Smith.
Time of possession continues to be lopsided for Miami, and they'll keep it going with this drive. Van Dyke flushed. Nice job defensively coming in. Man, that was Jalen Davis who came in like a lightning bolt from that linebacker spot.
You got to give Scott Schaefer, the defensive coordinator, credit. I mean, his players on the defensive side of the ball, they understand where the pressure's coming from, where the open gaps are. You see 35, there's no hesitation. The only place for Tyler Van Dyke to escape is at that outside, and he beelines for it, and it pays off.
Loss of 4 on the play. Parrish now in the backfield. Van Dyke looking to throw exclusively on this drive behind his receiver. Not even close. Jaleel Skinner from the tight end spot, the intended receiver, but that was well behind him. Third down and about 14.
Yeah, and who knows? If he throws out in front of him, that could have been intercepted. See 33 lurking to Corey Patterson.
Pressure coming. Picked up initially. Now it's not. And Van Dyke is sacked.
What a day for Salem Wood.
No doubt.
He had the interception return for a touchdown, come up with another big play here, but just look at the effort. Look at that effort by your big defensive end on a loop stunt coming inside, just not going to be denied. And if he didn't get it, Jordan Ferguson was right behind him.
First sack of the day from Middle Tennessee coming in, Mark. 12 sacks on the season. That was good for 7th best in the country. They get after you.
They get after you, and it's all about effort. They're going to bring more guys than you can block, and the guys that are left open, they got to get there.
Hutchinson has been ridiculous punting the football today. Got a Miami player injured on the play, right at the point of attack.
Injury timeout.
It's like the Corey Couch.
59 yards on the punt. Hutchinson's been phenomenal kicking the ball for Miami. Yeah, you're right, that was Corey Couch. Shaking up, he'll walk it off and come off under his own power. Doesn't look like he's feeling very good about it. Chase Cunningham coming on the field for Middle Tennessee. Larissa, what do you got on Chase?
You know, Chase is coming back from his ACL injury last season, and he's also learning a new offense. And he told me he feels like he's himself mentally. Of course, physically, he's not the same. His run game isn't quite where it was once before, but that doesn't hinder him, nor does it slow him down.
Yeah, we saw him run one in himself in that first half for a score. Here's short pass, trying to get his receiver out in space to do something with it. And Isaiah Gathings does just that, picks up about 9 yards.
That should have been stopped for a 0-yard gain. But incredibly poor effort by James Williams. I mean, you know, when you're that talented a player, you can't let your effort cause you to give up an extra 8 yards.
Yep, stepped out of bounds after a gain of 7, second down and short. And this is definitely what Cunningham and this Middle Tennessee offense needed. They have been stalled out. Canes bring just forward, get pressure on the outside, has a receiver downfield and hooks up with him, and he'll score! Isaiah Metcalf will score for Middle Tennessee. Elijah Metcalf, 69 yards, 71 yards in the first half mark, 69 yards in the second. The big plays continue for the Blue Raiders.
And he was matched up against Jaden Harris, the true freshman who was in place of Corey Couch, who got hurt on that kick. And it's just the burners. He put the burners on, gave up inside leverage, and Metcalf puts his hands up like, look, this is easy. You got to have better coverage than that.
Redshirt freshman from Charlotte. Second touchdown of the season. Extends that lead once again. Rankin makes it 21 points. Cunningham goes up top again, this time finding Metcalf. Shakes off the defender. Middle Tennessee by 21. More today. Those plays have gone for 71, 89, and 69 yards. And that's the big difference in this game. Turnovers early against Miami and allowing the big plays for Middle Tennessee. They're up 21.
And what a smile it is from Elijah Metcalf. Those pearly whites out there, they're having fun on the Middle Tennessee sideline right now.
You'd think a redshirt freshman from Charlotte doesn't know he's playing down here in Miami against the Canes. An opportunity to go deep.
And this was set up by the poor tackling on the earlier play. This is 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2 all day long should be shots downfield, because if you get an incompletion, you wind up with a 3rd and 2, which is manageable. Great job by the offensive staff recognizing we have a true freshman in on defense who hasn't played much. Let's attack him. And now check this out. We got a new quarterback, Jake Garcia, is in for the Miami Hurricanes.
Highly touted redshirt freshman. He has played before because he gets that COVID redshirt. Grayson High School in Grayson, Georgia. Now playing. Hands it off to Parrish. Parrish is able to pick up about 6. We have at least one player down for Miami. We got an offensive lineman who's slow to get up. That's Parrish, who's still down.
Yeah, and it looked like the ball came out at some point. The offensive lineman was just trying to get the ball back, but
Parrish just stayed down on the turf.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Oh, he hit hard. Looked like the ball came out after he hit the ground, but maybe the back of his head.
Yeah.
The way he hit hard on the back end.
It's got concussion written all over it.
Take another look.
I've been in that situation before where the whiplash can cause concussions. I got one of my concussions when I was playing in this same way.
Looked like he was down already before that ball came out, but the obvious concern is more with Henry Parrish Jr.'s health right now. You can see Mario standing above him, taking a good look at his player. He's meant so much to this team so early on in his career here at Miami, just transferring in during the offseason from Ole Miss. 3 years of eligibility left with Jalen Knighton hurt at the start of the year. So much was on his shoulders, and he carried that weight on his shoulders.
Yeah, let's hope he's all right. I'm sure he'll get checked out with a head injury.
Well, Mark, with your team down now 21 points in the second half, maybe it's an opportunity for Jalen Knighton, Thad Franklin to show what they could do. You're going to have to do a lot.
Let's just cut it loose. Let Jake Garcia make some throws. I mean, you got your backup quarterback in. You just lost your star tailback. You lost your star wide receiver last week.
Pressure. Franklin picks up about 3. And it's getting very, very chippy in there. There you see Garcia out of California. Plays high school ball in Georgia. 3rd, less than a yard. Fake to Franklin. That's Mallory. He's got a lot of room to run. In the middle Tennessee territory, dropped at the 40.
And one of the things that Jake Garcia has that Tyler Van Dyke doesn't really is the ability to use his legs. Didn't have to do it on this play, but as you watch this drive progress, let's see if they get Jake Garcia's legs involved at all, getting him outside the pocket, allowing him that scramble opportunity if there's nothing open downfield.
That play covered 23 yards, longest play from scrimmage for Miami on the day. This one will be longer. Smith makes the catch to the goal line, right down at the 1-yard line. Jalen Jackson defending on the play. That's the longest play from scrimmage for Miami. 39 yards, and they're in business.
And that ball got dropped in perfectly to Keyshawn Smith. Good focus by Keyshawn Smith.
And they want to go quickly.
They do.
Franklin rolls his way into the end zone for the score. Now that is more like it from this crowd here at Hard Rock. Now they're on their feet.
Good ball. Put it out, get some air underneath it, allow your wide receiver to make that catch, and they hurried up to the line of scrimmage, and good second effort by the big Thad Franklin getting in the end zone.
Borregales for the PAT, it's true. Coach Cristobal and the Canes answer Coach Stockstill and the Blue Raiders. It's back to a 14-point deficit for Miami. 6:08 left in the third. It's some new life for Jake Garcia.
It feels like a completely different stadium. There's people cheering. And credit to Cristobal, right? You had a guy who was second in voting in terms of ACC preseason player of the year, and Tyler Van Dyke. And It just has not been effective so far, and decide, look, let's change it. I'm not saying this is Jake Garcia's team moving forward, but sometimes you need a little bit of life. And Jake Garcia, good job coming in on that first drive and managing the game well, getting his team down the field into the end zone.
There are the two quarterbacks. Van Dyke, who started today on the left, Garcia on the right, led the Canes on that scoring drive.
Jake Garcia has yet to throw an incompletion this year. He was 9 for 9 in his first time seeing action earlier in the year in a blowout situation. Now 2 for 2.
Well, we've seen some amazing fans across the ACC. Got a bunch of them here today. Now we need your help. This fall, ACC Network wants to experience each sport from your perspective. So snap a pic or take a video, tag it with hashtag #AllTheDevotion and post it to your social. You just might see it on the ACC Network.
What a time for that promo. As the fans here are starting to get lively. And you're seeing the Miami sideline feed off it. Now, can Rick Stockstill's offense, can they quiet them down with another big play?
Showing pressure. Bring just 4. Cunningham flushed. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he throws it away. I feel like on that last drive before the 69-yard strike with that 2nd and 2, it just put them in a position where they haven't been in very often all day long.
No, they haven't.
They've been in this position a lot more often. 2nd and 10. Crowd on their feet. Cunningham to throw. Pressure up the middle. Eludes it. Not for long. Corey flags down Cunningham, and it's a sack.
If this is not an indication that mentality means everything in this game, it's a different, it just looks like a different Miami team. They're playing with passion, energy, making those second effort plays.
Now Cunningham and the Blue Raiders are in big trouble. 3rd and 15. Canes bring just 4, but they get home. Jafar Harvey, one of the emotional leaders on this team, putting the team on his back, blowing kisses to the crowd, and sacking Cunningham 2 in a row.
And what a way to respond. Jake Garcia ignited the fan base here in Hard Rock Stadium on that long pass. And then really the foundational piece of this team, the defensive line, answered the call with back-to-back sacks.
Ulbrich to kick from inside his 5. Gets off a good kick. Brashard Smith will just let it die right there at the 33, and that's where the Canes will take over. It is Garcia once again who leads Miami's offense out onto the field.
And there's Garcia chants going on in the stands right now.
There you have it, Mark. 9 for 9. Still trailing by 14, though. There's a lot of work left to be done. Raiders bring 6, collision in the backfield. All kinds of trouble for Princeton, and he gets slung down for a big loss. That was Raekwon Hartley. That play got blown up on its own in the backfield.
Really good almost tackle by Thad Franklin.
How did Brinson even stay up getting rocked by 240-pound Franklin?
I don't know. You see Raekwon Hartley's had a bunch of good plays. Looks like a WWE move. Throwing the arm bar down.
Yeah, the arm bar. Good call. Bad news for Miami. 2nd down and 18. Garcia to throw. Has time. Underneath to Mallory. Makes the catch. 36-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 6. Throw was right in the money. Mallory was pretty well covered. Miami looking to go quickly.
Middle Tennessee showing pressure with the linebackers up near the line of scrimmage. They're showing man-to-man. Looks like they're still in man.
Garcia to throw. They come with pressure up the middle. Picked up, flag down, and hits Mallory again. Right at the sticks. I think that extra effort may have gotten the 1st down.
And I wonder if there's another illegal formation by Miami.
May have offside. Looking at the official on the far side. I don't want to be presumptuous. It will be offside against Middle Tennessee. The assumption here is to be declined. Let's listen to our referee, Riley Johnson.
Offside. Defense number 9. Penalties decline. Results in the play. 1st down.
Jordan Ferguson, team captain, a little over anxious. 1st down for the Canes.
See Ferguson jump. Well, you think he just lined up offsides, but good block by Thad Franklin in the middle, picking up the blitz, allowing time for Garcia to get the ball out.
Really good catch for Mallory, too. Garcia play action. Downfield has a receiver. That's Smith makes the catch. Incomplete. No, now they're going to say he did catch it. Got a foot inbounds, so Keyshawn Smith suddenly has a fire lit under him. And they're going to run a move quickly again. 23 yards. Good protection for Garcia over the middle. Defender may have gotten there too soon.
Yeah.
He did, Llewellyn.
And great job by Brashad Smith getting his body in front of the defender. The only option that Trey Llewellyn had was to go through Brashad Smith. He drew the penalty.
Defensive pass interference. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Watch this. Good job of body positioning right in front. The only way to get to the football was through the body of the wide receiver.
Obvious call. 7 penalties for 74 yards against Middle Tennessee. Fresh set of downs for Miami. From the 20-yard line, they'll scrimmage. Garcia to throw over the middle. Mallory inside the 5.
Oh, that could be a fumble.
Recovered by Middle Tennessee in the end zone. Touchback is the ruling.
Wow. We're going to have to take a look at whether that was a completed pass. Now, the ruling on the field was that it's a completed pass and fumble. Good pop pass, and that to me is a completion. Let's see. He's got control. He brings the ball in, makes another step. That's going to be close.
Close, because he's got to make that football move, right?
Yeah, and the football move doesn't necessarily mean he has to bring the ball down into his body, but you see the eyes turn.
Yep.
Another step was taken.
So they'll review it. Again, as Mark said, the call is a catch by Mallory, fumble into the end zone, recovered by that guy right there, DeCorey and Patterson, and they're looking at it. Huge play in this game with 2 minutes left to go in the 3rd. That is bang, bang, isn't it?
It is, and there has to be enough evidence to overturn it.
How about Trey Llewellyn, too, the safety? The play after getting called for the pass interference, making the hit to dislodge the ball. Recovered by Patterson. And that's where we stand on the field, being reviewed by Rusty Acree, our replay official.
And good job by DeCorian Patterson, number 33. Not hesitating at all and recovering the football immediately. It's interesting. It felt live, like there was a little bit of a time component where, okay, it's a catch and then a step and then the hit.
Refresh everybody on what they're looking at here, Mark. It's not just catching the ball. The catch was made. He's got to make a football move, and that doesn't necessarily mean stiff-arming somebody. It's just a matter of turning and beginning your run. Is that correct?
Yeah, turning and beginning your run, or turning and securing the ball differently, or even not turning, but doing something intentional that would be involved in a football play, right? I think that where you say it's an incomplete pass is if you determine, okay.
Second down.
So what the determination was is that there was no football play. And I think that's one that can be debated either way, but
it's a break that goes Miami's way, and they need it, trailing by 14 and driving.
And then the result of that play is also an incompletion. So either way, good defensive play by Middle Tennessee.
Play fake to Franklin. Has all kinds of time. Now the pressure comes, and he just throws it into space.
And Miami's running three-man routes and keeping everybody else in to block. So you're having an extra tight end and running back staying in the block. Good coverage on the back end by Middle Tennessee. And now it brings up 3rd and 10.
Thaddius Franklin in the slot at the top of your screen, so an empty backfield for Garcia. Pressure on the edge. Garcia finds Franklin. Down to the 12, it'll be shy of the first down.
And you got to imagine they're going for it. They already went for it on the red zone on 4th and 5 in the first quarter.
Not even hesitating here, not even talking about it.
No.
Look for the play, line up and run it.
And this is where the foot speed of Jake Garcia comes into play. You got to be ready for a QB scramble situation.
4 out of 5 on 4th down in this game. Now Garcia holds everybody up and looks again to the sideline. High snap. Rolls to his left. Looking into the end zone. Incomplete. Now flag comes. It's behind Romello Brinson. Teldrick Ross was covering on the play, and the flag came.
Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Holding against Teldrick Ross.
Tough to see there, but that left hand might have gotten the extra grab. Interesting play call, rolling your right-handed receiver out to the left. Good job of Jake Garcia just trying to get the ball to his receiver.
Big Dad Franklin behind Garcia. He'll hand it off to him. Franklin just powering his way inside the 5, down to the 1.
He had Quindarius Dunnigan, the big defensive end, draped all over him. But you see the power of number 22. Just keep on driving.
We might get to see it again. We do. To the goal line, that elbow went down before he was able to roll across it. Still no score. 3rd and goal, and that may be it for the 3rd quarter unless they decide to try and punch this one in. It looks like they're going to try and go quickly. 10th play of this drive. Now we get a whistle. The ball move. Those are tight quarters in there. And it looks like that Miami is going to be content once they get the clock rolling again to just let this one roll out. Maybe, maybe not.
I'm not sure exactly what just happened.
I know. You figure, okay, if the ball moved, let's set it, start the game clock, and let's go. Maybe Miami thought that was it for the quarter. That's probably what they thought.
Stop. The center advanced the ball. We reset the ball. It's third down.
Ja'Kai trying to advance the ball.
I have no idea what he said.
Ja'Kai Clark, our center, which of course always happens.
Yeah.
Leans over, picks up the ball, moves it across the goal line. That time he kept it in pretty much the same spot. 3rd and goal. Franklin.
No.
Didn't get there.
Wow.
This is the 11th play of this drive, Mark. How about this defense? Worn out through 3 quarters and standing up, forcing a 4th down, which we will get to on the other side. Amazing.
Just the fortitude of both of these teams pounding this crowd and got to the quarterback, forcing a 3 and out and 2 sacks in that series. And now Miami drove the ball all the way down the field, but have been knocking at the door, and Middle Tennessee defensively have not given an inch.
4th down and goal. Redding in motion. Garcia to throw to the end zone, incomplete.
Oh my!
Looking for Mallory, and Teldrick Ross from his free safety spot came all the way over to break up the play. Ross is slow in getting up, but Mallory had it, and Mark, I don't think he's going to score even if he catches it because of the play that Ross made.
No, but he's open. You got 2-on-1. In the back of the end zone, you have Elijah Arroyo. In the front of the end zone, you have Will Mallory. And again, another phenomenal play by 97 Quindarius Dunnigan, understanding that he could get his hands up in the face of the quarterback. Wow.
For the 2nd drive today, Miami drives it into the red zone, and they're denied on 4 downs. They turn it over here on downs, and Middle Tennessee will have it from their own 2. Cunningham from inside his own end zone. Will Miami bring pressure here? Cunningham changing the play to his offensive line. Here come the Canes. He'll throw, and he'll go up top. Caught! Into Chisholm for the 2nd time today!
Wow!
A bomb to Chisholm. This one 98 yards.
Wow!
Cunningham from his own end zone. I can't believe it. The Blue Raiders have bombed Miami with huge plays today, and they do it again in the 4th quarter.
Mitch Stewart, the offensive coordinator for Middle Tennessee. He runs, this is textbook. When you're down in your own goal line defensively, you got to be ready for 3 things. Hard count. That Middle Tennessee tried that. Miami didn't jump. And then it's shots and people to the flat. Unbelievable job and great speed by Chisholm. Wow.
Rankin extends the lead once again to 21. Middle Tennessee has 6 first downs in the entire game and 5 touchdowns. Unbelievable. England Chisholm once again.
Those shots when you're down in that area, but you saw the speed. I mean, Chisholm, he's not a big guy. 5'7", 150 pounds. That is not big, but he could fly.
Now Miami is in full-on desperation mode. Smith, this will help. There ain't gonna be anybody to catch him.
Oh my.
So the Canes get it back immediately.
Well, they needed that.
They had to have it.
They did. this game, it's been big play after big play. Keyshawn Smith.
That was it at that point.
Man.
2 consecutive plays, 2 touchdowns.
2 like 98-yard touchdowns.
Yup. Borregales with the PAT. Larisha, what is going on down there on the field?
I can say it's a madhouse down here in the field, and everybody right now is celebrating with Chase Smith, who is destined to be a hurricane. The legacy runs so deep in his family. His dad is Willie Smith, the All-American tight end. His mom graduated with a nursing degree. His grandmother was a professor at Miami. His brother also graduated with an engineering degree from the school, so it was only right that he continued that tradition, and I think it's safe to say that he's doing a great job by upholding that legacy, and he says he embraces it. He embraces that responsibility and wants to continue to uphold that standard that his family set forth.
Well, they needed special teams on that play, that is for sure. Jay Smith is, I mean, you have a guy like Cristobal who talks about Jay Smith and said Jay Smith is a special teams demon, and then Keyshawn Smith uses a big-time play by Smith to spring himself for that score. And Miami had to have it, as you said, Mark. Down by 21. Now it's again manageable. We're at the start of the 4th quarter. Blue Shoot Borregales will put it back in play. Now they need a defensive stand. A 3-and-out here to get the ball back to Garcia, who has lit a fire under this Miami offense, to get back to work. It's got to, from a player's perspective, Mark. You've had an exasperating 3 quarters. You've just seen 98 yards go the other way. You're down, you're deflated, you're done. Now all of a sudden Keyshawn takes it the distance, and you're saying to yourself, okay, now we got another shot. Get fired up and get out there and stop him.
Yeah, and the concern is, this Miami team, they've been on a roller coaster of emotion, right? It's been ups, it's been downs, and they can't get too high or too low, right? These last two plays cannot have that big of an effect on you.
Nice job by Gathings. He's that wide receiver that's 6'4", 222, and that was a collision.
Timeout.
Looked like Daryl Porter Jr. We'll take a quick break and come back and get you caught up on Porter's condition when we come back. Middle Tennessee by 14. 3. Cunningham will carry it himself. Bounces it outside. Gets dropped close to the first down marker to gain. I think he got there.
You're starting to get thin in the defensive backfield for Miami. Good to see Corey Couch back in the game. Saw him banged up earlier.
That's a good point. Yeah, number 23 back in there for Miami as Porter is out. First down, empty backfield. Cunningham to throw. Canes bring just 4. Complete to about the 39. Give him about 4 yards on the reception. And that was Tony, A.J. Tony on the receiving end. Transferring from Sanford. Middle Tennessee wants to go quick. Peasant gets about 3 more. This is a huge 3rd down right here. You see that clock ticking down. Miami's still down 14.
Yeah, and although Middle Tennessee, they want to go fast, they understand the clock situation now. So again, they're in and out of the huddle fast. Well, they don't have huddles, but they're to the ball fast, but they're allowing some time to run off the clock. So they understand their lead right now.
Mark just 1 for 8 on the day on 3rd down, and this is one that they can pick up 3rd and 2. Cunningham gets the snap. Peasant knifes his way there for the first down. He saw the tiniest of slivers and just wiggled his way through it.
Yeah, not a ton on the ground for Peasant today. Or last week, I mean, they fed him the ball a ton. He had 122 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. But if they can get him going on this drive, it's going to be important as we want to wind this clock.
How much do you change what you do, though, Mark? You know, if you go fast and it's what you're used to and it's in your DNA, as Coach Stockstill said. Peason looking to move that pile. An extra 2 yards.
Yeah, and you don't want to change up too much, right? They're not gonna go crazy.
Under center.
Yeah, they're not gonna do anything like that. But what they will do, right, is make sure they have fresh running backs in the game. Now they sub Peason out, bring Thaddius Bracy in the game. They're not worried about Miami's defensive subbing in and out because they do want to milk this clock. They want to get this run game going. They're going to switch over some offensive linemen now as well.
Yeah, both these teams are banged up on both sides of the ball. Cunningham pressure. Gets it out to Bracy. Bracy cuts it back in and gets a first down.
Good job by Bracy. There's some confusion on Middle Tennessee's sideline. A couple wide receivers looking over to try to see the play as the ball was snapped. Good shot of Bracy there.
Third first down on this drive for Middle Tennessee, just 10 for the entire game. Cunningham to Bracy. Cuts it back inside the 40, down to the 38. Chunks of 5 yards.
Running hard and big lower body guy. Doing a good job of kind of squeezing his body sideways. See that misdirection draw, but is he just kind of lets that leg go dead, bounce off a block, pick up a few extra yards.
Cunningham to throw. Fakes. Now gets out of the pocket low and had a receiver coming back for it. Just couldn't connect with A.J. Toney. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Good pressure by Akeem Mesidor. Cunningham had Bracy as a check down over the middle. Just wasn't able to see him. And sub in at right tackle.
And they don't have a whole lot of right tackles to sub in.
No.
They don't have a whole lot of depth on the offensive line. 10th play of this drive. And this is massive. Because they're also just out of field goal range here.
Yeah, they are, and they're showing, Miami's showing pressure. And man-to-man.
They bring 5. Cunningham will have to step up. Now he can run for it, and he's going to pick up the first down and a lot more. Slides down at the 25.
Wow. Wow. It looked like Miami had him beat. Watch the middle of this line. Watch flag, number 11. He goes for that chip when I think he could have just turned inside for the quarterback. Yeah, it's when you have these line stunts, you don't want to take yourself out of a play by completing the line stunt, but good job by Cunningham understanding the situation and picking up the first and more.
Cunningham to throw for it again. Now going to the end zone. Perfectly thrown ball down inside the 5. Jalen Lane makes the catch. It'll be 1st and goal for the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, and he's working on Malik Curtis, the sophomore. He's in because Tyreek Stevenson, the starting cornerback, he's been out with an injury. And a perfectly thrown ball, and what a catch by Jalen Lane. Man, what concentration.
1st and goal for the Blue Raiders. Peason flags down. He won't make it. Let's check the marker. Even a field goal.
Illegal substitution on the defense.
Wow.
12 players participated in the previous play. Penalty is half the distance to the goal line. First down.
I was about to say, Mark, even a field goal here is no bargain because you'd be down 3 scores, but a touchdown here is a killer.
Yeah, too many guys on the field. It's 12 men. When you get in this goal line formation, you got to make sure you get all the right guys on the field, especially when they're backups in the game.
Got Ferguson in there as a fullback. Peason, did he go over the top? Waiting on the word from the officials. Now we get one from the far side official. Touchdown, Blue Raiders.
What a job by this Middle Tennessee offense sustaining a drive.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Look at big number 9 defensive end Ferguson.
And Zaylen Wood, another defensive end in there, number 7.
And I don't know if he got it.
Yeah, I don't think he got it. And the far side official is the one who made the touchdown call.
Don't go too
Previous
far.
play is under further review.
We'll take another look at that. Stock still wants to get his offense to stay ready because they may have to go right back out.
So get Pizan back here.
He goes up over the top and gets lifted high in the air. I'm looking to see if there's a second effort underneath there. It must be what that is, Mark. High in the air. Jared Harrison Hunt lifts him up. Now does he fall forward here underneath? I don't see it.
Yeah, you see
There
him right
that's
there.
his helmet. That's his helmet right there in the end zone, but I can't see the ball from that angle. But the official on the far side came in and gave us the touchdown signal. So he's seeing something we are not seeing. Right there, that effort, and then the ball crossing the goal line before he's down.
Yeah, you know, that initial jump does not get there, but I think you're right. You know, he gets down and uses that left hand as like a little extra, tripod, and let's see where the ball is. And who knows?
There, right there. Did you see the ball being switched forward right there? You see that little hole right there? It's being switched to the end zone.
And who knows, right? The call in the field's a touchdown. Who knows?
Is there a knee down?
At that point,
can't see. Is there an elbow? Can't see. Call on the field is a touchdown, and it looks to me, and Mark, I think you agree too, there's just not enough video evidence to overturn it.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Stands as called.
And what a play by Pizan, right? You don't get it initially, but you land and you're still up and you just continue to move forward until you hear that whistle blow. Phenomenal drive by Middle Tennessee.
Mark, 12 plays, 75 yards after the kickoff return for the touchdown. Just
they've outplayed Miami in every aspect.
Rankin with the PAT, 45 points for Middle Tennessee today here at Hard Rock.
Now this is going to be a pulse check, right, for Miami. You're down 21 points. How are you going to respond in this moment? You've had so many ups and downs, and it really has felt like the only time where there's a lot of momentum going in your way was when the crowd gave you that energy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're feeding off of things externally rather than internally motivating them. It's going to be an important drive. Again, can you score 21 points the next 8 minutes? Maybe. But are you going to give up?
All of it in the context of coming back from College Station last weekend, where you really acquitted yourself very well, even in a loss in a game that you probably felt like you could have won and maybe should have won.
Oh, God.
Smith, the other Smith, Brashard Smith, leapfrogs the defender inside of Middle Tennessee territory. So they are not done yet. Coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern on ACC Network, we're going to cap off what has already been a crazy day with Boston College and Florida State up in T-Town. It's on the ESPN app and on the ACC Network. Before we get to kick off of that game, we're going to go for reaction from the whole Huddle crew in Tallahassee. I'm sure they're going to have a lot to say about what's going on between North Carolina and Notre Dame, Clemson, Wake Forest earlier today. This game, a lot of implications. Miami's got to score and score quickly. Garcia back at the helm. Henry Parrish got hurt earlier in the game, as did Knighton. Both those tailbacks are down, and now Garcia is down. Marley Cook with the sack.
Good job. Look, they're just overload pressuring. And it does not seem like there's a lot of hot routes built into this offense where, look, we're not going to have enough time to throw the football. Let's just have a little stop route to our wide receivers.
Redding gives him an opportunity here. Now it's 3rd and medium, 3rd and about 6. Garcia and Miami got to go in a hurry. Has time, now pressure off the edge, throws it to nobody in particular.
Great pressure by Zaylen Wood. Just working against John Campbell and beat him. Beat him on a one-on-one pass rush. Got pressure on Garcia.
Fourth down and 5. Obviously, you're in a go-for-it situation. Now we got a flag on down late.
Call intentional grounding,
And
possibly.
Riley Johnson almost called it. Then he thought he would get more clarification from the other officials.
Offense, number 13. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. It's also a loss of down. 4th down.
Yeah, there's no one over there.
And he's not out of the tackle box. That was what I'm sure the officials were looking at, and that's why it took our referee Riley Johnson a little while to drop the flag, making sure. Said nope, still in the tackle box. That's a penalty. 4th and 13. For all intents and purposes, this is the game for Miami. Got to convert here.
The Middle Tennessee is going to bring pressure again. Force the ball come out fast.
They bring 5. Garcia has time and has a receiver caught. 1st down, Michael Redding.
Good throw by Jake Garcia. And good job of the offensive line, giving it enough time for that route to develop downfield. Good completion.
Pressure up the middle, picked up. Trying to get to Redding in the end zone. A lot of hand fighting downfield. Corey and Patterson there with Redding, no call.
Again, brought more pressure up the middle. Brought 6 guys, just leaving one-on-one on the outside. A lot of faith Scott Schaefer has in his defense, especially his cornerbacks. Be able to cover up these Miami wide receivers.
2nd down and 10. Good look at Rick Stockstill. Mentioned the wins he's gotten on the road in the 17 years he's been at Middle Tennessee. A couple of times at Maryland, Mizzou, Syracuse, Georgia Tech. Dare I say this one against the 25th ranked team in the country would be his biggest. Garcia hits his receiver. That's Smith. Makes a couple of people miss. Spins inside the 20. Miami's not done yet. That'll be a 1st down. For those of you just joining us, Garcia spelled Tyler Van Dyke in the 3rd quarter. Lit a fire under this Miami team. He's 8 of 12 on the day.
The clock is running, right?
Yep.
Taking a lot of time off the clock. You have to score faster.
Inside the 10. Touchdown, Miami.
Stepped out, I think.
Oh, he did. All right, at the 2. Jaleel Skinner was the one who caught the ball and brought it in, but he did have a foot out right inside the 2.
Young tight end, true freshman. Let's see if he does step out. I don't see anything yet.
Right here, if he did. They're saying that right foot. Wow.
Short of the goal line.
That's close.
Is under further review.
I mean, you think Jaleel Skinner looks good coming off the bus? Look at that athlete. 6'5", 210, true freshman.
Yeah, I don't see that right toe, but you see the official was right there, like right on top of the play.
Right on it. The right toe was the one who stepped out at the 2. Let's take a closer look. It's not the left, it's this one right here. That right toe. Man, that looks like it's still green.
Yeah, I see some green. A little green in between that white tip of the toe and that white sideline. I say that's a touchdown.
I'd say that's Skinner's first career touchdown with the Canes.
Good job keeping his balance.
It is this one here. Can't see it from that angle. I think the other angle is perfect. I see a little bit of green between his toe and the white sideline.
You're right.
Our replay official, Rusty Cree, has been busy today.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know about that. So it stands. It'll be 1st and goal from about the 1.5-yard line. Miami's got to put this thing in a hurry. They've not had a lot of success down here in the red zone doing just that.
This 1.5-yard line has been the Achilles heel for Miami.
No doubt.
They have not been able to get the ball in the end zone.
Down here just moments ago, and on 4th down, they tried to get it to Mallory in the flat. That didn't work out. They're trying to hammer Thad Franklin in there. Now they bring Smith in motion. Try to get it out to him, and it's a poor pass, incomplete. It looked like Middle Tennessee had that covered pretty well anyway.
Yeah, they did, but I think if you throw it right away, you can get it to your guy, try to make a man miss. It's just really well-coached defense, understanding the threats. 3 wide receivers to the quarterback's right in the red zone. Signals roll out.
Franklin churning. No signal yet. Ball might be loose.
Oh my goodness.
They have no signal from the officials just yet.
Middle Tennessee signaling. The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Middle Tennessee.
Wow.
First down.
I mean, everything is going wrong for Miami today. Franklin trying to get there. You can't see where the ball comes out from that angle, but you could see the Middle Tennessee players scrambling for it. Where's the ball?
He's definitely short.
Then the ball comes out. This will obviously be reviewed, and while it is being reviewed, we'll take a quick break and be right back. All Middle Tennessee midway through the 4th. Thaddius Franklin's elbow was down before he fumbled, so it's 3rd and goal Miami.
And looked under center. See the do QB sneak.
Look at that with a fullback. Franklin.
Got it.
Touchdown.
Got it. All right.
Okay. Miami did what they had to do. Took a little bit too much time off the clock, maybe, but at least they scored. So now you've got a chance. Franklin, that is you know what? They may have to rely on him a lot moving forward, because today you had Henry Parrish get hurt. He never returned to the game. And Jalen Knighton's been banged up all year, and Rooster got hurt again today. He may not be able to play next week.
Yeah, we haven't seen him return to the game. And again, there's 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. It's a 14-point game. I mean, Miami, as much as they've been beaten in this game, if they get a stop here or they force a turnover, I mean, they're still in this one.
As disastrous as it was the moment that fumble was recovered by Middle Tennessee,
right?
Now you get that reversed, you score, your fortunes are completely reversed. You're still in it.
It's completely different.
Now you got 2 timeouts on the board. Middle Tennessee also has those 2 timeouts. Now if you're Coach Stockstill and you're Mitch Stewart, the offensive coordinator, you want to kill clock, but again, we talked about this before. Your MO is to move quickly.
And you wonder if you're on the Middle Tennessee sideline, you're putting your hands team on the field just in case it is an onside kick situation. And it looks like there's 2 kickers in for Miami. Borregales, and then 97, the punter, is also on the field.
Will Hutchinson.
So, yeah, that's what it's like. Middle Tennessee is lined up with no deep returner anticipating an onside kick, and that's what Miami's lining up to do.
Borregales will kick it. 1 big hop, 2nd big hop, and covered beautifully by, it looked like Jalen Lane, the receiver on the hands team, was there, Mark. I don't know about that decision. 6 minutes is a long time.
Yeah, 6 minutes is a long time, and aside from the last drive of Middle Tennessee, they have not been able to sustain long drives.
Yeah. There's our guy right there, DJ England Chisholm. Look at these two bombs. Guy came in with 3 catches for 15 yards on the year. This is more than 15 yards.
Speed.
That's 71.
Speed.
And then if you thought that one was good,
yeah.
How about 98?
And it's when you have a guy that fast and you see a defensive back running side to side, you say he's leaving. Just put the ball out there, let him run under it.
Peasant running hard for about a yard. Chance Williams making the stop. Well, Mark, if there's one thing here.
Timeout, Miami.
Miami's going to call a timeout.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
The Middle Tennessee offense hadn't run a whole lot of plays today. So are they fresh relative to what they normally might be in the fourth quarter of a game?
Yeah, you think so. And again, the ability of their defense to continue to play every single play the way they have, I mean, it's impressive. And
that's the flip side of that.
Yeah, and so you got to imagine that the offense, who has been sitting on the sidelines watching their defense give everything they have, they're feeling, as you said, probably pretty fresh. And
I mean,
use that to their benefit.
Miami's run 85 plays today in the South Florida heat and humidity.
Yeah, I think, I think there's a lot to be said about the conditioning of Rick Stockstill's team and the way they've been able to play, especially in the trenches.
2nd and 9. Peasant, look at him lower his shoulder. Still running hard. Still on his feet inside the 35, down to the 33. First down.
Tell you what, that play right there kind of encapsulates what we've seen all day. James Williams, your all-star safety in the hole one-on-one with Peasant, and Peasant took it to Williams.
Peasant just put his foot in the ground and got upfield, didn't he?
Yep.
You got to be proud of that kid. He was recruited as a linebacker out of high school, kind of like you. Linebacker, fullback.
Yeah, again, he's not going to be the fastest guy. Super athletic, though. Good balance.
The patience there, too.
And he runs like a linebacker. Right.
Reckless abandon.
Yeah.
The difference between you and him, though, coming out of high school is he can catch it, he can throw it, he can kick it.
Yeah.
Stockstill was like, if I need a kicker, I'll go to 36 for an emergency kicker.
Yep. And
great athlete, showing all of those skills today. And right at the right moment here, Mark, in the fourth quarter, when they got a burn clock, they're just handing it to 36.
And he knows, right? Put the ball in my hands at the end of the game because they trust me. And he's produced on this drive.
Peasant again, sidesteps a tackler, just lowers his shoulder, picks up what he can. That's about a yard. So it'll bring up 3rd down. If Miami wants a shot, they got to get their defense off the field right here now.
And the body language of the Miami defense right now, I mean, it just looks like they're ready for the game to be over.
Clock ticking under 4 minutes.
You got to make a play, got to strip at the football, got to do anything you can. If you get beat for a touchdown, you're going to lose, right? But if you're just going to let them run the ball down your throat, you're going to lose too. So take a shot here, try to make a play.
Bracey, he gets tackled in the backfield, loses a yard. Keem Messidor came in to make the tackle, so Miami did what they had to do after the onside kick, failed onside kick.
Timeout, Miami, 2nd of this half.
2nd timeout from Miami. Coming up later at 6:30, the ACC Huddle crew back with highlights and breakdowns. Of all our afternoon games, they're going to be in Tallahassee. Jordan Cornett, E.J. Manuel, Mark Rick, Eddie Royal, getting you ready for BC and Florida State at 8. And then after that, primetime game, full rundown of the day here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. So let's see here, 29. It's a 46-yard field goal attempt if they go that route. It doesn't look like Stockstill is going to try it. He's bringing Cunningham back out there, 4th and 6.
what that signals to me is it's just out of the range of their field goal kicker. Because if you can add 3 points,
right,
you do it.
Rankin's very accurate, but to your point, yeah, I think he might be a little bit out of the range. So here we go on 4th down. Cunningham, draw. It's worked before today. Does it work again? Nope, just a little bit. Well, maybe. Maybe I spoke too soon. It's right at the marker. I still think he's a little shy, but this is worthy of taking a closer look at. Which official marks it? The one nearest to us or the one on the far side?
You need to get to the 23-yard line. It does look like he's just short.
You see players flying out of there. Don't pick up a ridiculous penalty at this point. Yeah, he doesn't get there.
No.
So Miami will take over. 3:38 left to go, and they need 2 touchdowns.
It can be done. It can be done.
The lost art of measuring. Are they going to measure this? When was the last time we saw a measurement? They aren't going to measure it. I've talked to officials about that before. You guys don't measure anymore. They never do. You've noticed that?
Well,
this is the first time. All right, this is the 5th game we've done this year. This is the first time we've had a measurement, I think.
Yep,
in all
right,
5 games.
Right. You're right.
It used to be all the time. Measure it.
And this one's not even close.
It's not even close. It's like almost a yard. I've seen them where it's an inch, and they're like, don't bother with the measurement. This is good.
It's funny. Sometimes the coaches are like, look, measure it. Not even Stockstill just asking him to get out there and measure.
It used to be the thing you would do to stall. Yep. I want a measurement. Come on, coach. It's not even close. Measure it. I want to be sure. All right, bring him out.
All right. Well, Middle Tennessee was just bringing the pressure on the last drive and just daring Garcia to throw the ball deep or throw the ball out to his wide receivers. They're lining up with it again. 6 guys right around the line of scrimmage.
Garcia will throw. Here they come off the edge. Watch out for Garcia. Got hit. Ball's loose.
They didn't blow a whistle.
Still loose. Big old Jordan Branch came out of there with it. Now we finally get a whistle. Dedrick Stanley from that cornerback spot from the safety really came hard.
The ruling over the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down.
Wow. Well, and Dedrick Stanley, it looks like he almost paused for a second on the blitz. Watch him coming off the left side of the screen. Right here, he pulls up for a tiny second, and that is definitely a forward pass. So I think the officials it's recommended to them that they let the game play on to see kind of what happens, but that ball is coming forward in the hand, and it's going to be a scare for the Miami fans that didn't need to be one.
Back when you were playing, if you're in Stanley's shoes,
yep,
you go right through Garcia. Like, you don't pause for a second. But nowadays, with the protection of the quarterback, you think Stanley was like, if I hit him as hard as I could hit him, it might get too ugly. Like, it might be 15 yards.
I don't know. I mean, you hope not, right? Like that.
I know, but
you're right. That could be what's going through his mind. You also don't want to miss the layup, right? You don't want to run past him.
After further review, it's an incomplete pass.
Good call.
Ball be placed at the previous spot, and it's 2nd down.
You've told me yourself, if you were playing in today's college football, you get kicked out all the time.
Yeah, most games.
Well, every game.
Most games.
Your coach would have to sit you down. Please try and make it to the final whistle today.
And that's what we were taught. I mean, you want to have like 3 sounds, right? When you make a big hit, you want to have the sound of you hitting the guy, the sound of the guy hitting the ground, and then the sound of the breath leaving his lungs. It's not the way anymore.
No. Old school. 2nd and 10. They come with 5 again. Garcia has time. It's picked up. Flew in, dropped it. Yeah. Trying to get it to Mallory, and flew and read it perfectly. Just couldn't hang on.
I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with Trey Llewellyn's game. He's been around the football a lot. Transfer from Houston Baptist. And you mentioned earlier in the game, he had a pass interference on a big play. It didn't derail his focus or effort at all. I mean, he's still attacking the football in the air.
He came back the next play and forced the fumble.
Exactly.
3rd down and 10. Pressure again on the edge, but Garcia has time. Going to Smith.
Nice play.
Defended beautifully by Patterson. He's had a good game, too. they've been on the field for so many plays. We've mentioned their names so often. They just keep fighting back.
And they just go make play. They attack the football in the air. And you can't say the same thing about the Miami wide receivers. They're gonna let the ball come to them. Now 4th down. This is the play.
Got to convert here. Skinner in motion to the top of your screen. As they have all game long, Middle Tennessee showing pressure. They got 6 in the box. Will they bring all of them? They drop one of them back. Garcia trying to get it to Ladson and just overthrows him.
How about that?
And that will do it. Miami with just 1 timeout on the board. Middle Tennessee up 2 scores can send everybody to the turnstiles here in Miami Gardens. Jake Garcia came in here in the second half, Mark, and gave him a little bit of a spark. Just wasn't enough. And too many big plays from Middle Tennessee.
And you got to wonder, what's going through the head of Mario Cristobal, right? One thing he said after last game versus Texas A&M, he goes, my guys played hard. They played tough. Atmosphere didn't get to them. I think the playing hard, that's going to be something that's looked at on film. I think it's going to really have to be analyzed. How hard did we play? Obviously, mistakes happen in this game. But it felt like, at the end of the day, Middle Tennessee out-toughed them.
Miami calls their last timeout. Look at the schedule coming up. You go to the ACC. North Carolina. Last we looked, they were getting pretty well hammered by Notre Dame today at home. Then on the road in Blacksburg and just a full ACC slate. Tough finish. No bargain with Florida State either, but they get them at home, but at Clemson and then Pitt to finish the year. But it's right away against North Carolina next week. Both those teams will be looking for a big-time bounce back. We'll obviously get full update on what's happening in Chapel Hill on the huddle coming up as soon as we wrap things up here from Miami. We'll send it to Tallahassee. There's Mario Cristobal right there, so excited about coming back home where he played his college ball, won 2 national championships here, late 80s and early 90s, and rebuilding Miami to that glory again.
Yep.
And it's not going to be an easy task, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight, and clearly they've got a long way to go.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of questions that need to be answered throughout this week, right? Who's your starting quarterback? Is it Tyler Van Dyke? Is it Jake Garcia? Who's your running back? Henry Parrish, what's that injury look like? Jalen Knighton, what does his injury look like? And
Estrepo's going to be out for 5 weeks at least. So you got to find a receiver. You thought maybe Ladson had a nice first half.
Yep.
You saw some others, Brinson, do some good things. But someone's really going to have to step up on the outside, aren't they?
Keyshawn Smith was impressed with his bounce back. He did not have a great game against A&M. He had a couple good catches in this game. But the Miami defense, that's been where they've just relied on the defense.
Yeah.
And they were number 2 scoring defense in the ACC coming into this game, and giving up 45 points today. Obviously, points off turnovers were a big part of it, but it's just a lot of questions.
Still trying to keep that attitude positive.
Now 4th down and 1. Letting the clock tick down.
And on the flip side, Rick Stockstill in Middle Tennessee, they'll start Conference USA play next week against a pretty good UTSA team, but what a shot in the arm for them on the road, beating number 25 Miami before you start conference play.
And you mentioned just laid an egg week 1 against James Madison, but then after that they put up 34 points against Colorado State, 49 points last week for Tennessee State, and 45 points today. So they're going to be rolling into UTSA feeling pretty confident about themselves, and at least from my knowledge, they've been pretty injury-free today as well.
that's good thing that game's at home, right? Coming off of this huge win, if you had to go to San Antonio next week, that would have screamed Stanford Steve and the guys on SVP.
Yeah.
Talking about potential upset. Cunningham out of the timeout, going through the air. Smart play by his receiver to get down, pick up the first down, and then take a knee to run out the rest of this clock. Jalen Lane doing just that. And you can see what Rick Stockstill has done in the past in his 17 years here. And add another team to that list with Miami tonight.
Man, you know, just what an effort by his team. You mentioned the belief that his team had coming into this game, and the belief just grew. Every single play, the belief grew, from the interception on the first play of the game to the second pass of the game, a pick six, to the forced fumble, to the goal line stops. I mean, it's just been over and over and over again that this Blue Raider team has stepped up to the call.
Middle Tennessee with Rick Stockstill been to a bowl game in 11 of the last 13 years, and on his way to another one this year with this win. This is a good football team. They're going to compete in Conference USA. There's no question about it. And for that man right there, Mario Cristobal, it's back to the drawing board. It's going to be a tough week down in Coral Gables.
Yeah, tough week. A lot of questions to answer on what he's got going forward. But you can't be more excited for